Chapter 1792. Immortal Venerable's mission the lightning dragons Long Tianji released are very fast. They ran far away in the blink of an eye. The lightning dragons want to get far away from the heaven-leaping shuttle to avoid attracting those formidable things. Not long after, Long Tianji yelled again, "My lightning dragons are all dead." Just as she was about to release more, Qingyun promptly yelled, "Tianji, don't release anymore. There will only be more deaths." The death of the lightning dragons will also consume Long Tianji's vitality. "It doesn't matter. This time I must see those things clearly," Long Tianji said, then closed her eyes and released several hundred lightning dragons again. Qingyun can only send those lightning dragons outside. After those lightning dragons came out, they immediately flew everywhere. Not long after Long Tianji frowned, it can be seen that many of her lightning dragons died. "I saw those things, but my lightning dragons are all dead." After Long Tianji finished speaking, she released a lightning dragon. That lightning dragon's eyes shot out 2 rays of light, and an image appeared in the sky above the main control room. It is the scene that Long Tianji's lightning dragons saw. Yu, Shui, Tianzi, and the others are also looking at the image in the sky. It is very bright outside. White beasts the size of cows can be seen on the street. The heads of these beasts look like huge red flowers full of sharp teeth. They have no eyes or nose, their bodies are white, and their heads are big flower-like mouths. These things are very fast. They suddenly appeared and froze the lightning dragons. Then the man-eating flower-like mouth spit and swallowed the lightning dragons. After eating the lightning dragons, the monster's body suddenly became transparent. "What is this thing?" Qingyun inhaled a mouthful of air and said in amazement, "Outer Heaven Domain people were killed by these things? But they didn't eat the bodies of Outer Heaven Domain people. Could it be that Outer Heaven Domain people's meat is not tasty?" Yu said with frown, "But there are only so many lightning dragons. What's so good about them? They only absorb the energy of Outer Heaven Domain people's bodies. They didn't eat their meat." Long Tianji said, because she also saw many shriveled corpses of Outer Heaven Domain people. Qingyun said, "Maybe these things only like eating beasts." Yu nodded and said, "These monsters should be able to tell what is delicious and what is not. If they can turn invisible, then they must have discovered us." "They didn't attack the heaven-leaping shuttle because it can't be eaten?" Qingyun said. "If that's the case, I can release a puppet to take a look." He also had some puppets in his hands, all of them refined from immortal iron or holy iron. They didn't have the aura of flesh and blood, and were a type of puppets that did odd jobs. The Iron Man-like puppets are also controlled by Long Tianji. Because she released many small lightning dragons earlier, she is very familiar with the terrain of the Tomb City. The connection between her and the puppets was made through spiritual waves. In the Tomb City, it was impossible to use spatial sensing from afar. "No attack." Long Tianji charmingly smiled and said, "Master, your puppets are more useful than the small lightning dragon." "That's because we're in Tomb City. In other places, puppets are not as good as small lightning dragons." Qingyun said with smile, "Properly investigate this city. Tell me if you find anything." Long Tianji nodded her head, then earnestly went to explore the Tomb City. Qingyun continued drawing his blueprint. Less than half a day later, Long Tianji suddenly yelled. One of the puppets was destroyed. It was destroyed by a short and small old man. Qingyun said in amazement, "A short and small old man? A human?" Long Tianji nodded and said, "A human. A very powerful human. Humans who can wander around here must be very powerful." The short and small old man Long Tianji discovered is precisely that heartless, immortal venerable. Not long after, Long Tianji said again, "I saw that short and small old man. He didn't attack this time." You said, "Talk to him. Ask him who he is." Long Tianji nodded her head, then projected the scene of the puppet through a pearl in her hand into the main control room, so that Qingyun and you can see it. The old man was indeed very short. He looked like a child about 10 years old. He wore a set of white clothes, had curly white hair and had a goatee. The old man slowly walked towards the puppet with his hands behind his back. Puppet? I haven't seen this kind of thing for a long time. The old man's voice can also be heard by Qin Yun and others. Although the voice has a trace of lamentation, it gives people a very strange feeling. It is as if this person has no nostalgia for anything. Senior, I am Qin Yun. Why did you attack my puppet just now? Qin Yun asked. His voice can be transmitted to the old man through the puppet. Qin Yun? You are the Qin Yun that Brother Ping mentioned? They said you have Divine Universe Golden Stone. The old man said, I just saw something just now, so I casually attacked it. I thought it was a heavenly monster. Yu Yu is immediately shocked. She looked at Qin Yun with slight fear and said in low voice, Xiao Yun, the monsters that I saw before that can become invisible are heavenly monsters. What the hell is this? Qin Yun asked. Heavenly monsters are very scary. It is said that some people used evil methods to pry into the heavenly Tao and obtain the power of the heavenly Tao to transform into monsters. Yu Yu said, I am heartless, immortal, venerable. I am here to clean up the heavenly monsters in the immortal desolate. I accidentally broke your puppet just now. I am truly sorry. Heartless, immortal, venerable said. Qin Yun and the others looked at each other in shock. They actually saw Heartless, Immortal, Venerable. This Heartless, Immortal, Venerable is in charge of cleaning up the heavenly monsters. I have long heard of Senior's great name. If that puppet is broken, then it's broken. It doesn't matter. After Qin Yun recovered from his shock, he quickly said, Senior, you are here to clean up the heavenly monsters? We all thought you were dead. I'm no different from dead. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable said indifferently, I won't disturb you anymore. I will continue chasing after the heavenly monsters. With that, Heartless, Immortal, Venerable disappeared in an instant. Yu Yu said, Heavenly monsters are very difficult to kill. The reason why Heartless, Immortal, Venerable was sealed here is probably to kill them. After so many years, he still hasn't finished killing the heavenly monsters here. What kind of power do those heavenly monsters possess? Qin Yun suddenly became very interested and said with a smile, If only I could control those heavenly monsters. They would definitely be very powerful. Yu Yu shook her head and said, Xiao Yun, don't even think about that. Heavenly monsters are very dangerous. It's just that I have never faced them before, so I don't know how terrifying they are. Long Tianji said, Master, it seems like there isn't anything good in this tomb city. Should I continue to investigate? Continue to investigate and find the corpses of the heavenly monsters. Qin Yun said, I want to see why these things are so powerful. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable has been in this tomb city for an era, but he still hasn't completed the mission. It can be seen how terrifying those heavenly monsters are. 1 month passed by. During this period of time, the Immortal Desolate has been very calm, because there is no news about Qin Yun. They only know that he entered the tomb city and still hasn't come out. The Devil Mirror in the Immortal Desolate is spreading the news that more and more people from the Outer Heaven realm are arriving in the Immortal Desolate. And the Dark Royal race, Emperor race, as well as the experts of the ancient era, all went to negotiate with the big shots of the Outer Heaven realm, requesting them not to act presumptuously in the Immortal Desolate, especially the Emperor race. They also publicly declared that if there are people from the Outer Heaven realm killing innocent people in the Immortal Desolate, their Emperor race will intervene. Ancient era powers, Immortal Desolate Holy Palace, Dragon race, Nether sect, and many other powers all express their support for the Emperor race. Immortal Desolate is very chaotic now. It needs some order. Otherwise, killing will happen everywhere. It will not be good for Immortal Desolate. Inside the tomb city, Qin Yun looked at the 9 3-meter-tall golden stone steels and nodded his head. Very good. At the top of the steels, there is a mighty dragon head that can spurt out energy. On both sides of the steels, there are small, soaring dragon carvings. Qin Yun took out the 9 heavenly rune beads, released the dragon heavenly rune inside them, and placed them inside the dragon heavenly rune. That is also the core of each dragon steel. The dragon totem is connected to the dragon heavenly rune at the center. And inside the dragon steel, there's a very large storage space. It is used to store energy sources. Now there are a large amount of sacred mysterious silver crystals inside. Zi Qingsheng and others have been busy for more than a month. Now they are very tired and entered the Nine Sun Divine Soul to rest. Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian have also been refining Gemini, heavenly rune, for the past few days. Qin Yun feels that they are very heaven-defying. They can continuously refine Gemini, heavenly rune, without suffering heavenly punishment. In this period of time, they managed to refine 10 Gemini, heavenly runes for Qin Yun. Next is to carve runes. Qin Yun took out the floating cloud divine needle and took a few deep breaths. Dragon transformation, 9 dragon totem. This is not difficult. He released the needle spirit from the nether moon and sent it into the floating cloud divine needle. Then he began seriously carving the dragon transformation, 9 dragon totem. Xiaoyun, you have a lot of inscription spirits. Yu said with smile. If other inscription masters find out, they will surely be very jealous. I only use 2 types of inscription spirits now. Beast King Inscription Spirit and Totem Inscription Spirit. Qin Yun said, I heard that by releasing Inscription Spirit form, the precision will be even higher. Yu said, can you release Beast King and Totem Inscription Spirit form? Qin Yun shook his head. I temporarily can't. When he fought against Peng Hantao in the Inscription Dome Master Competition, he saw the Thunder God Inscription Spirit form. Later on, he also tried to release the Inscription Spirit form he mastered, but to no avail. He suspects that his Inscription Spirit is not innate, so he can't release its form. This is also the direction he will have to work hard in the future. Because time is not tight, Qin Yun's carving is rather slow. After half a day, his heaven-leaping shuttle suddenly trembled. Someone is here. Yu looked up in shock. Something landed on the top of the heaven-leaping shuttle. It can be seen from the main control room. It is a small old man whose face is covered in blood. His body is covered in scars. He is heartless, immortal, venerable. He is seriously injured. Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and teleported Heartless, Immortal, Venerable to the main control room. Boom! After Heartless, Immortal, Venerable entered the main control room, he saw a huge palm slamming down. On the palm, there is a flower-like huge mouth. It looks like the head of a heavenly monster. Fortunately, Qin Yun stopped carving in time. Otherwise, he would have been affected. Go! Chapter 1793. Changes in metal and stone. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable's injuries seem to be very serious. But Qin Yun and Yu can sense that an extremely formidable power is hidden within that short and withered body. Senior, are you all right? Qin Yun saw Heartless, Immortal, Venerable slowly sit up and walked over to ask. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable looked at Qin Yun and sighed lightly. Then he shook his head and said, I won't die. Yu asked, Senior, what attacked you just now? Is it also a heavenly monster? It's a heavenly monster. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable nodded and said, it can be considered the leader of this group of heavenly monsters. It's very powerful, and it's even evolved. Qin Yun and Yu both remember that they saw a large hand slapping down. The palm was the large mouth of a heavenly monster that looks like a man-eating flower. Are all heavenly monsters the same? Qin Yun also wants to understand more about heavenly monsters because he might encounter them in the future. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable fought with heavenly monsters for an entire era, so he must have a very good understanding of them. It's not the same. Heavenly monsters cultivate different Tao, so after they transform into heavenly monsters, their forms are also different. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable took out a towel to wipe the blood off his body. The wounds on his body are rapidly healing. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable has a very strong recovery ability, which means that his body is extremely strong. Yu asked, those heavenly monsters, were they originally humans? Or beasts? Human. They were all transformed from humans. Heartless, Immortal, Venerable sighed with melancholy and said, the heavenly monsters here are all transformed from disciples of my heartless, immortal sect. Yu and Qin Yun are both alarmed. The heavenly monsters here are actually disciples of the Heartless Immortal sect. Heartless Immortal Venerable is the sect master of the Heartless Immortal sect, but his disciples have turned into powerful heavenly monsters. Senior, what's going on? Qingyun asked. I heard that heavenly monsters obtained heavenly Tao power and transformed into them. Is that right? Yes, they stole heavenly Tao power that doesn't belong to them and were punished. Heartless Immortal Venerable shook his head and said, because of a chance, I obtained the power bestowed by the heavenly Tao. As long as I refined that energy, I could directly enter the divine desolate. However, my Heartless Immortal sect's great elder joined hands with a group of inner sect disciples to steal the power bestowed by the heavenly Tao. Yu sighed and said, the temptation of the heavenly Tao's power is truly great. Emotionless Supremacy looked at Qingyun and said, more than half of my Emotionless Immortal sect's disciples were killed by the heavenly monsters transformed from traitors. This heartless city was built by me to attract those heavenly monsters here. I'm atoning for my sins. I'm going to kill all the heavenly monsters here. Who sealed you here? Asked Qingyun. Nine Yang Divine Palace. Emotionless Immortal Venerable said, Qingyun, I heard that you have Divine Universe Goldstone. Qingyun hurriedly nodded and said, Senior, do you understand Divine Universe Goldstone? Emotionless Immortal Venerable sneered. The power bestowed upon me by the heavenly Tao is a Divine Universe Golden Rock. Qingyun is startled as he looked at Yu. Yu frowned and said, Senior, what is going on? The Divine Universe Metal Stone was bestowed by the heavenly Tao. Venerable Heartless said, my Divine Universe Golden Stone was given by the Nine Yang Divine Palace. Only I can absorb the energy inside. If anyone else were to absorb it, they would be stealing the power of the heavenly Tao. Qingyun said with a frown, my Divine Universe Golden Stone shouldn't be from the Nine Yang Divine Palace. It could also be naturally formed, but no matter what, it's a great ominous object. Emotionless Immortal Venerable said, little guy, if I were you, I would definitely give up on the Divine Universe Golden Stone. Otherwise, I don't even know what kind of calamity I would suffer. Qingyun curled his lips and said, I won't give up. Emotionless Immortal Venerable said indifferently, up to you. Thank you for saving me. I don't know when I will be able to repay this kindness, but I will engrave it in my heart. Senior, are you going out? Qingyun asked. I want to continue killing heavenly monsters. There's still more than 900 of them. After so many years, I can only kill more than 100. Emotionless Immortal Venerable laughed at himself. I don't know how long I will have to kill them, but there's no other way. This is a great disaster that I caused. Qingyun said, I thought that Senior was staying here to kill heavenly monsters to complete some mission. I didn't expect it to be for this reason. It can also be considered a special mission for me to make up for my mistakes. Moreover, I am willing to undertake it. Emotionless Immortal Venerable said, little guy, let me out. Yu said, Senior, you should rest a bit more. That guy is so powerful. You shouldn't be able to defeat him. Emotionless Immortal Venerable shook his head and said, even if I can't beat him, I still have to fight. This is my destiny. Qingyun saw how stubborn Emotionless Immortal Venerable is and can only send him out. After Emotionless Immortal Venerable went out, he disappeared without a trace. Qingyun looked at the dragon rune Heavenly Steel and said, heavenly monsters were formed because humans absorbed Divine Universe Golden Stones? Is it really that evil? He is somewhat worried that there is a problem with his Divine Universe Golden Stones. Don't worry about it. The Divine Universe Golden Stones are definitely yours. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fallen into your hands all these years. Yu said with a smile and touched Qingyun's cheek. Continue carving. Qingyun nodded and continued carving the dragon transformation totem. What he is carving now is the fire dragon totem, which also corresponds to the fire dragon heavenly steel. The 9-dragon heavenly rune and 9-dragon totem that Qingyun has mastered correspond to each other. They are respectively fire dragon, water dragon, heavenly dragon, star dragon, moon dragon, sun dragon, azure dragon, purple dragon, and white dragon. There are many kinds of dragons. As for why there are 9 kinds of dragons, Qin Yin doesn't know. In short, the dragon heavenly rune and dragon totem he obtained belong to these 9 kinds of dragons. The 2 heavenly rune dragons that Black Rat by Zay found are the fire dragon and the water dragon. Qin Yin doesn't know their attributes. He only found out after studying their dragon heavenly rune. Even Mo finds it very interesting that fire dragon and water dragon can be together. They're supposed to restrain each other. And Qin Yin also discovered that azure dragon, fire dragon, and water dragon have a very good relationship. Although they met not long ago, they are able to get along well. Xiao Yun, your father has the fire dragon god's divine position. It seems like he quickly built a good relationship with azure dragon. The relationship between these dragons is very good, so they can get together? Ling Yuner said. Qin Yin feels that it is very likely. Carving the dragon transformation dragon totem is not very difficult for Qin Yin. It only takes time. This time carving the dragon totem is different from the past, because he wants the dragon totem to link with the dragon heavenly rune in the center. Qin Yin has to put in even more effort. After carving, he still has to use the Gemini treasure mirror to release the power of the mysterious fusion heavenly rune and let the fire dragon heavenly rune and the fire dragon totem completely fuse together. The fire dragon heavenly steel is finally done. Qin Yin revealed a smile on his face, but he is also somewhat tired. Yu came over and wiped the sweat off his face. Her lily-white hand gently caressed his chest and channeled a formidable immortal emperor power to help Qin Yin recover. It took Qin Yin 3 days to finish carving the fire dragon heavenly steel. He calculated that according to this speed, it will take a month to finish all the heavenly steels. As for whether or not he can make the entire 9 dragons heavenly origin formation operate, he is still not sure. In order to proceed more smoothly, Qin Yin rested very well. Fortunately, Yu also channeled her immortal emperor power to replenish his energy. Most importantly, Yu has the Nether Moon immortal martial spirit. The mental power she channeled can help Qin Yun's Nether Moon recover. Carving runes requires a large amount of blood spirit power. The pressure on Nether Moon is very great. If not for Yu's help, Qin Yin might need to rest for 2 to 3 days to recover to his peak. And now, he only needs to rest for less than half a day before he can immediately start. Time flew by, and a month passed by very quickly. In Qin Yun's main control room, there are 9 3-meter-tall dragon rune heavenly steels. These dragon rune heavenly steels were originally light gold in color, but after carving the dragon totem, they each have their own color. In fact, it is the energy that appeared inside the dragon rune heavenly steel that enveloped the entire heavenly steel. Qin Yun and you were standing in the middle of the 9 heavenly steels. They looked at the dragon heads on the heavenly steel and felt as if they were being looked down upon by an ancient dragon. Each of the 9 heavenly steels has a formidable dragon might. If they close their eyes, they can feel the dragon might. It is as if there are 9 powerful dragons with soaring might all around them. Is it a success? This is the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation? Yu is somewhat excited. This is a legendary, super great formation. It is said to be born from the heavenly Tao, and humans are unable to set it up. I really don't know how to use this 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, Qin Yin said with a smile. I have to ask some knowledgeable people. Who should I ask? Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor, or Red Sun Dragon Mother? Yu said, don't ask them for now, because my 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation is not complete yet. Qin Yin thought for a moment and said, I wonder if Yu Qing is nearby. Among the people Qin Yin knows, the ones who understand the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation the most are definitely the immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Red Sun Dragon Mother. They were both outside the Tomb City earlier. Don't worry about it. Let's try and see if we can absorb the energy of the divine universe golden stone through the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. Yu said, do we need 3 layers of space to release the divine universe golden stone? Qin Yun looked around and said, "The heaven-leaping shuttle and floating cloud pagoda are only 2 layers of space. Xiao Yun, this tomb city should be considered a space. Moreover, the Sun Holy Land can be considered as 1 layer. This is already 4 layers of space." Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun is somewhat uncertain. However, he knows that the space inside the tomb city is isolated from the outside world. All right, let's give it a try. After Qin Yun took out the floating cloud pagoda, he teleported to the warehouse and handed over the control of the heaven-leaping shuttle to Yu Yu. He let her control the heaven-leaping shuttle to prevent it from being attacked by the heavenly monsters. Qin Yun entered the 3rd floor of the floating cloud pagoda and released the 9 dragons' heavenly steel. He placed it in a circle around the spacious space of the 3rd floor, allowing every heavenly steel to sense each other. He first controlled the 9 dragons' heavenly steel to link together and released energy at the same time. "I don't seem to feel anything," Qin Yun said with a frown. "I should have activated the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation by now, right? Release the divine universe golden stone and you'll know." Ling Yuner said, "I feel that it's more or less complete." Qin Yun took out the box containing the divine universe golden stone. The box is on the ground, and Qin Yun is unable to move it. After Qin Yun finished his defensive preparations, he opened the lid and the fist-sized divine universe golden stone floated up. What made him pleasantly surprised is that this time the divine universe golden stone did not release an intense and dazzling light, so Qin Yun did not feel any burning pain. The 9 faces of the divine universe golden stone are now releasing different colored energy. The 9 energies are like shining chains, connecting to the dragon heavenly rune in the center of each heavenly steel. Chapter 1794. The Great Array was finally completed. Qin Yun stared at the divine universe golden rock and felt some fear. Because the energy released by the divine universe golden rock is very strong. That kind of power seems to be able to destroy heaven and earth. And this was only the weak aura released by the divine universe goldstone. From this, one could see just how strong the energy contained within it was. How do I absorb the divine universe goldstone's energy? Qin Yun looked at the divine universe goldstone that is releasing the 9-colored light belt and wanted to reach out to touch it. However, when he stretched out his hand, he was repelled by a force. "I can't touch it." Qin Yun could only pick up the box and cover the divine universe gold rock. After the floating divine universe golden rock was covered by the box, it slowly descended. It wasn't as heavy as before. After the divine universe goldstone was covered, the 9 dragons' heavenly steel also returned to its original appearance. "Xiao Yun, this box should be specially made to be able to cover the divine universe golden stone." Ling Yun said, "I feel that the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation has already succeeded." "Really?" Qin Yun said doubtfully. "Then why can't I absorb those energies?" "You haven't used your cultivation method to absorb it yet, have you? Try again." Ling Yuner laughed. "That's right, I was too nervous just now, so I didn't try." Qin Yun smiled and opened the box again. When the box was opened, the divine universe metallic ores floated in the air. Just like before, the 9 dragons' heavenly steel turned into 9 different colors. Qin Yun sat cross-legged inside the 9-dragon heavenly origin array and closed his eyes. He secretly circulated the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra and attempted to absorb energy to cultivate. Suddenly, he felt his wrist, which was wearing the 9-sun divine soul, violently vibrate. He opened his eyes and saw the 9-sun divine spirit appear on his wrist. 9 different colored lights entered the 9-sun divine spirit's different pearls. Could the 9-yang divine soul be the key to absorbing the divine universe goldstone's energy? Qin Yun said in astonishment. Sister Kiru said that this thing is related to your life as the king of gods. You already had it back then. Ling Yuner said, "That's possible. The divine universe golden stone was given to you by the 9 Yang divine palace. You can only absorb it through the 9 yang divine spirit. Qin Yun said with a frown, "Is that really so? Why didn't the god of space tell me about this?" Ling Yun said with a smile, "He shouldn't know either." Qin Yun looked at his arm. Under his skin, there seemed to be 9 dragons squirming. 9 different colors of light could be seen flickering under his skin. The divine universe Goldstone's energy was released through the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, and then entered his body through the 9 yang divine spirit. Xiao Yun, this divine universe golden stone of yours has 9 sides, and they have all been meticulously polished. There are even runes inside, so it must have been specially refined. Ling Yun said, "This divine universe golden stone belongs to you." After Qin Yun circulated the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra, he could feel a very berserk energy entering his body. What made him feel at ease is that the divine universe golden stone's energy did not cause any damage to his body. The 9 Extinction Heart Sutra cultivated the absolute yang power, and together with the Heaven's Might Tao technique, one could cultivate the 9 Extinction divine body. As for the One Thought Imperial Heaven Art, it cultivated mental strength. I wonder if I can open the 6th pearl after breaking through. Qin Yun said, "The last few pearls of the 9 Sun divine spirit are getting more and more difficult to open." Ling Yun said, "Xiao Yun, I feel that the last few pearls of the 9 Sun divine spirit have never been opened. For example, the little black donkey and the pill transformation heavenly furnace. They are not things that a mortal desolate can have. Could it be that they were placed inside during the divine desolate?" Qin Yun said with frown. "Indeed, the first pearl has runes, the second pearl has pill refining, the third pearl has Sister Yao Fong and 9 Extinction spirit sealing needle. The disparity between these things is bigger and bigger. And the little black donkey and the 5th pearl pill transformation heavenly furnace are even more awesome," Ling Yun said. Qin Yun carefully thought about it, and also felt that the last few pearls would be very difficult to open. "Yin tell me, can I let Sister Steam Bun and others come out and cultivate together?" Qin Yun said, "I feel that I can cultivate together with them. It might be a bit dangerous. You should first discuss with them and see if they are willing to give it a try or not. It would be bad if they are injured," Ling Yun said. "Qin Yun wants to find you because she is very strong. Even if they encounter other situations, she can deal with them. Long Tianji and you are inside the control room. There are also Zi Qingcheng, Shui Tianzi, Kong Feiqing, and Gong Fian inside the 9 Sun divine soul." Qin Yun discussed with them and finally decided to let Zi Qingcheng out first. After cultivating together, the energy will increase by a lot. Moreover, the women cultivating with Qin Yun will also benefit. Zi Qingcheng was released by Qin Yun. She is wearing a light purple dress. She has a faint, elegant, and noble aura. She saw the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation and the divine universe golden stone and became very curious. Her beautiful eyes are filled with purple light. The divine universe golden stone blossomed with 9 colored light. The 9 mighty heavenly steels all around also have a majestic aura, causing Zi Qingcheng to be extremely curious. Just as she is lost in thought while looking at the divine universe golden stone, Qin Yun reached out his hand and rubbed her soft and tender jade face. "Sister Steam Bun, there might be danger later. You must react quickly. If anything goes wrong, immediately stop cultivating with me." Qin Yun lovingly rubbed her face and said with smile, "I know. Face rubbing crazy devil." Zi Qingcheng snorted lightly and then pushed away Qin Yun's hand. Otherwise, who knows how long he would have to rub for. After Zi Qingcheng sat down, her jade-like palms tightly pressed against Qin Yun's big palms and lightly shouted, "Let's begin." Qin Yun took a deep breath, his expression solemn. He slowly circulated the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra and absorbed a small amount of Divine Universe Golden Stone's energy. And Zi Qingcheng also began to circulate the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Qin Yun does not know the specific mnemonic chant of the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra because it is not allowed for men to know. Not long after, Qin Yun felt the power of the divine universe golden stone enter his body and slowly flow into Zi Qingqing's body. That power entered Zi Qingqing's body, and after circulating the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, it became even stronger and then flowed back into Qin Yun's body. And Zi Qingqing herself frowned and said, "That power is very strong. I feel that if I continue cultivating like this, my body will become even stronger." What surprised Qin Yun is that the divine universe power that flowed back into Zi Qingqing's body became extremely strong. Originally, the divine universe power was considered gentle, but because it was abnormally strong, it became very berserk. It expanded the meridians in Qin Yun's body and almost tore them apart. Fortunately, Qin Yun's body was strong enough to withstand it. "Great, no problem," Qin Yun said with a smile. "Sister Steam Bun, do you think we can let them come out and give it a try?" Zi Qingqing nodded and said with a chuckle, "Sure. You can almost attack the immortal Emperor realm. I really didn't expect that we were so weak back then in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, and now we have become so strong." Thinking back to what happened back then, Qin Yun also chuckled and said, "Sister Steam Bun, it's been so many years, and after so many things, we can still be together. It's really not easy." Zi Qingqiang smiled sweetly and nodded. Her beautiful eyes flashed with a kind of gentle affection. After Qin Yun stopped cultivating, he gently held her hand and pulled her into his embrace. Zi Qingqiang struggled slightly, but in the end, she began to lean into Qin Yun's embrace. "Let me hug you," Qin Yun said with a smile, and then rubbed her face. Zi Qingqiang chuckled and said, "You can hug Water Fairy. She wants nothing more than for you to hug her forever. I also want to hug you," Qin Yun said with a smile, and then kissed Zi Qingqing's face. "Oomph." Zi Qingqiang raised her head and looked at Qin Yun. Her purple eyes flickered with tenderness. Qin Yun can't help but lower his head and kiss her red lips. Both of them very sweetly embraced each other. After a while, Zi Qingqing's jade face turned slightly red and said with a chuckle, "Don't tell Water Fairy about this." "Why?" Qin Yun gently caressed her face. "If she knew, she would joke about this matter all day long." Zi Qingqiang tenderly groaned and said, "She often told you Shaoling before that it was very shameful." Qin Yun is somewhat startled. Shui Tianzi and Yu Shaoling were so affectionate inside the nine-sun divine soul. "There's also Yu Welan. Your wife is much worse than you." Zi Qingqiang chuckled and said, "This Yu Welan, I have to teach her a lesson," Qin Yun said with a smile. He kissed Zi Qingqing's face and then released Shui Tianzi, Kong Feiqing, and Gong Fian. As soon as Shui Tianzi came out, her beautiful jade-like nose slightly moved. Her charming face is filled with charming smile. This coquettish seductress lightly laughed like silver bells and said, "I smell a kind of affectionate scent. You're not a fox. Don't randomly sniff." Zi Qingqiang groaned and said, "Little brother Xiao Yun, are you and Sister Steam Bun talking about love outside?" Shui Tianzi's charming and fragrant body leaned on Qin Yun's body, emitting an intoxicating fragrance. Qin Yun pinched her innately charming face and said with a smile, "Sister Tianzi, let's cultivate together. I want to become a formidable immortal emperor. I will rely on you." Kong Feiqing said with a smile, "Xiao Yun, big sister can help you become immortal emperor. I am very happy. Let's quickly begin." She's already holding Gong Fian's lily-white hand. Gong Fian's beautiful eyes are filled with excitement as she looked at the divine universe golden stone. She said with a smile, "This is the legendary divine universe golden stone. It is so big. I will begin." Qin Yun took out the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill he won on Immortal King ranking and ate it. The Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill is also very useful. It can coordinate with the divine universe golden stone's energy and make it even stronger. Moreover, it won't make the divine universe power that berserk. Qin Yun's body rushed out with true 9-colored light rays. He only sensed the divine universe power violently rushing into his body, cleansing his entire body for a while, and then pouring into the nether sun. After the nether sun absorbed this kind of energy, it frantically revolved, and the divine tree totem wrapped around the nether sun flickered with golden light. Little heavenly lion, little divine hammer, and little dragon that are revolving around the nether sun also gradually changed. The details on their surface became even more abundant. Especially that little divine hammer. It looks just like the real 9-sun divine hammer. Originally, there was only nether sun totem on the surface of the little dragon, but now a dragon totem has appeared. Moreover, it is a 9-dragon totem. Chapter 1795. Divine Space Power Qin Yun is not paying attention to the situation of Zi Qingsheng and the others. His own cultivation situation is very complicated. He needs a lot of energy to break through. And now he can feel that he is becoming stronger very quickly. Then Zi Qingsheng and the others are even faster. All kind of aura images appeared on the bodies of these women. For example, behind Zi Qingsheng is a purple 9th heaven Xian sparrow. Originally, she was a heavenly Peng, but now she is a 9th heaven Xian sparrow. Above Shui Tianzi's back was a water dragon. The dragon's surface was covered with a water dragon totem. Shui Tianzi's immortal martial spirit has undergone a great transformation. It is very different from the immortal martial spirit she possessed before. This might be due to the influence of the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. Heavenly rune balls appeared behind Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian. Their mother and daughter heavenly runes revolved around each other. Xiao Yun, can you hear me? Yu Yu's voice suddenly arrived. She is very anxious. I am at the critical moment of my cultivation. What's the matter? Qin Yun asked. Not good. The seal on the tomb city is about to be broken. Moreover, a large number of heavenly monsters are chasing after the heaven-leaping shuttle. Yu Yu said anxiously, if the seal on the tomb city is broken, those heavenly monsters will run out. Qin Yun is startled in his heart, but he cannot do anything now because this is the critical moment of breakthrough. Sister Yu Yu, tell Tianji that I want her to come in and cultivate together with me. You continue controlling the heaven-leaping shuttle to avoid those guys. I will finish my cultivation as soon as possible and go out to deal with them. Qin Yun hastily said. All right, Yu Yu said. The tomb city should be able to hold on for a period of time. Qin Yun immediately sent Long Tianji in. With Long Tianji joining, Qin Yun will be able to obtain even stronger divine space power and increase his breakthrough speed. Long Tianji has dragon blood in her body. She is very excited to see the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. And with her joining, it will indeed be a lot faster because she already has a very strong dragon blood inheritance. Very quickly, a very special silver dragon image appeared behind Long Tianji. That dragon has a pair of wings. They look like they are made of spider legs. This is very likely the strongest form of Long Tianji's poison dragon spider. The ones who have sensed the greatest change in their bodies are Kong Feiqing and the other women because their bodies are quickly becoming stronger. By absorbing the power of the divine universe, one could cultivate a divine body. At this moment, they felt as if they had been reborn. Can you go faster? Qin Yun opened his eyes, looked at Kong Feiqing with frown, and said, Big Sister Kong, can a Gemini Heavenly Rune's secret technique be used? We can. Kong Feiqing promptly said, Our bodies have become stronger. We can also endure it. The Gemini Heavenly Rune could double one's energy. Yin Yin, let's begin. Kong Feiqing nodded towards Gong Fian. The Gemini Heavenly Rune within their bodies suddenly flew out. Their Gemini Heavenly Runes resembled 2 pale white moons that revolved around the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation's divine universe golden rock. When Qin Yun saw this scene, he was extremely alarmed, because the energy released by the divine universe goldstone, under the influence of the Gemini Heavenly Runes, unexpectedly doubled. Originally, on each of the 9 faces of the divine universe golden rock, a chain of light surged out, connecting the 9 heavenly steels. But now, 2 chains of light have appeared on each of the 9 faces of the divine universe golden rock. Altogether, there are 18 chains. This, Qin Yun is extremely shocked. Xiao Yun, rest assured, there won't be any problem, Kong Feiqing said with charming smile. In Guanghan Palace, we often use this method to help our sisters break through quickly. It is very safe. Qin Yun now understands why Guanghan Palace's women can break through so quickly. It is all because of Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian's help. Just now, he wanted to persuade Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian to stay in the Nine Sun Divine Soul, but seeing how important they are to Guanghan Palace, he immediately dispelled that idea. Although both mother and daughter can condense Gemini Heavenly Rune, only they can fuse with it. If Gemini Heavenly Rune was given to other people, they would not be able to fuse with it and would only be used to refine tools. As for why, Qin Yun is very puzzled. We must first cultivate our bodies. Only after our bodies become stronger can we contain even stronger immortal Emperor Life crystals. Kong Feiqing said. Qin Yun's body is already strong enough. Now he wants to break through to Nether Sunday. So long as his absolute sun immortal power reaches immortal Emperor level, he will be able to break through. The divine space power strengthened by Gemini Heavenly Rune has doubled. After entering Qin Yun and those women's bodies, it became even more berserk. Qin Yun and those women are tightly frowning because the berserk energy is flowing very quickly inside their bodies. It is causing them to feel as if their meridians are being pierced by needles. Even though it is very painful, they can endure it. Especially Qin Yun. This kind of pain is a common occurrence to him. Qin Sheng and the others were also able to endure it. They could only grit their teeth and frown. After all, they had experienced many things. They looked beautiful, but they were not weak. Because they are inside the stable space, inside the floating cloud pagoda, they cannot sense what is happening outside. Actually, the entire heaven-leaping shuttle is shaking very fiercely. The heaven-leaping shuttle is being attacked by a large number of heavenly monsters. Those heavenly monsters are not paying attention to heartless, immortal Venerable. They're chasing the heaven-leaping shuttle with all their might. Young man, did you unseal the divine universe golden stone? Heartless, immortal Venerable shouted loudly as he chased after those heavenly monsters. He is cultivating. Yu Yu's voice came out and she asked, Senior, do you want to enter the heaven-leaping shuttle? No need. I will do my best to prevent those heavenly monsters from attacking you. Heartless Immortal Venerable is also very astonished because heavenly monsters have never gone crazy to chase after something. Nearly all the heavenly monsters in Tomb City are chasing the heaven-leaping shuttle. The heaven-leaping shuttle can't travel through space inside Tomb City, so it can only fly. It can't avoid being attacked by the heavenly monsters. After Qin Yun's Divine Universe Golden Stone left the box, it went through the Nine-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation to stimulate the energy inside. Finally, through the Gemini Heavenly Rune, the Divine Universe Golden Stone's energy doubled. Therefore, this caused the Divine Universe Golden Stone's energy fluctuation to be extremely terrifying. Outside of Tomb City, there were also many large flying ships. While Qin Yun was refining the Nine-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation, various powerful heavenly domains sent reinforcements one after another. And now, after those flying ships arrived at Tomb City, they also sensed that the Divine Universe Golden Stone's fluctuations are extremely powerful. Outer Heaven Domain people understand the Divine Universe Golden Stone very well, so they are very puzzled. How many Divine Universe Golden Stones are inside to be able to cause such huge spatial fluctuations? Peng Hantao also arrived outside Tomb City. He is beside his grandfather Peng Huxiong. Grandfather, the fluctuations of the Divine Universe Golden Stone are getting stronger and stronger. What's going on? Peng Hantao said with a frown. Could it be that Brother Qin stimulated the energy inside the Divine Universe Golden Stone and absorbed it? He might have grasped a method to quickly absorb the Divine Universe power. This is an eternal problem. Peng Huxiong's face is filled with disbelief. He said, if he can really do it, it means that he can also quickly absorb the energy inside the Sun God crystal. The energy inside the divine universe golden stone is much stronger than the sun god crystal. Many people have sun god crystal, but they can't quickly absorb the energy inside, mainly because it is too intense. If there was a way to quickly absorb the sun god crystal's energy and not have to endure the violent energy destroying the body, it would be absolutely heaven-defying. Boom, boom, boom. Hundreds of flying ships have all kinds of great offensive formations, crazily condensing energy and bombarding the Tomb City. This is also the reason why the Tomb City is about to be breached. There are heavenly monsters inside. Are these guys not afraid of death? Immortal, desolate Dragon Emperor's face is filled with worry. Tian Dozi stood at the entrance of the cave and looked at the Tomb City. He shook his head and said, "The heavenly monsters can't be sealed. Once the heavenly monsters come out, the entire immortal desolate will be destroyed." Shimen Dazhuang cursed in low voice. Outer Heaven Domain people come from Outer Heaven Domain. They don't care about Immortal Desolate at all. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Immortal Desolate is about to be annihilated by the heavens. Tian Daozi looked at the sun in the sky and muttered. Seeing that the Tomb City's barrier is about to be breached, the nearby people all moved far away. They all know how terrifying the heavenly monsters are. If they come out without enough power, they will be killed. Inside the floating cloud pagoda, Qin Yun's face flickered with 9 kinds of light rays. Behind him, a pitch-black nether sun appeared. There are many dragon-like tree vines on the surface of the nether sun. It is a divine tree totem. It is currently wrapping around the vibrating nether sunday, and the nether sun is surrounded by 9 colored rings. Hoo-hoo! The nether sun suddenly shook and let out a whistling sound. Qin Yun sensed that he is controlling an extremely formidable power. He opened his eyes. His gaze is like lightning. It is filled with formidable aura. He is the last to become an immortal emperor. Those women have already broken through long ago. They are only continuing to help him. Thank you all. Qin Yun laughed. The nether sun also entered his body. We also want to thank you, Kong Feiqing said with light smile. You all first enter the 9-sun divine spirit and adapt to this new change. Qin Yun said, the heaven-leaping shuttle is being chased and attacked. I want to go out and deal with it. All right. Qingxing nodded. After Qin Yun placed them in the 9-sun divine spirit, he stored the divine universe golden stone and a 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. He left the floating cloud pagoda and teleported to the main control room. The heaven-leaping shuttle is trembling violently. When Yu saw Qin Yun come out and sensed the formidable power on his body, she felt a lot more at ease. She is very worried that Qin Yun's cultivation will have some problems. After all, this is the critical juncture of becoming an immortal emperor. If he makes a mistake, the consequences will be very serious. Why can't the Tomb City hold on? Qin Yun said. There's a very powerful thing attacking from outside. Yi said. After Qin Yun stored the divine universe golden stone, those heavenly monsters seem to have calmed down. Only a few of them are still chasing the heaven-leaping shuttle. However, the attack from outside the Tomb City is still unceasing. Senior Heartless, you built the Tomb City. Do you know how long it can last? Qin Yun asked. It can't last much longer, at most half a day. Heartless Immortal Venerable loudly cursed. Wait for me to come out. I will definitely exterminate those bastards from the Outer Heaven Domain. Chapter 1796. Danger of Heavenly Monsters. Heartless Immortal Venerable is fighting fiercely against a group of heavenly monsters. He is risking his life and using his strongest power to fight against them. How can heavenly monsters be so easy to kill? Kill them all in half a day. Your words sound good. Heartless Immortal Venerable roared. Quickly leave this city. If they break through the Tomb City, you won't be able to escape. Qin Yun also knows that the Tomb City is being attacked because he used Divine Universe Golden Stone to cultivate and released a very strong fluctuation. Therefore, a large number of Outer Heaven Domain people sensed it. Those Outer Heaven Domain people don't dare to enter the Tomb City because they are worried that they will be attacked by the heavenly monsters. If the Tomb City's barrier is broken, the heavenly monsters will run everywhere, and they will be able to capture Qin Yin. Qin Yin wants to deal with the heavenly monsters, but he carefully thought about it and decided to stabilize the Tomb City first. Because he is not sure that he can kill all the heavenly monsters, he only has a plan. He controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and quickly flew towards the city gate. In the sky above the Tomb City, there are many powerful immortal emperors floating in the air. They're all looking at the powerful Outer Heaven Domain people attacking the Tomb City. The Outer Heaven Domain people ride many huge flying ships. These flying ships have many energy sources stored inside them. Powerful weapons refined from runes can release very terrifying power. The flying ships in the sky released all kinds of powerful energy, bombarding the Tomb City. Imperial Race's Elder Qin said, "If this goes on, the Tomb City will be breached. If the heavenly monsters inside come out, it will have a great impact on the Immortal Desolate." Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said, "Isn't that so? Have you all made your decision? If the Imperial Race attacks, we will definitely join." Nethersek's Netherworld Great Emperor is also here. He is wearing a black robe and said with grave expression, "If the heavenly monsters come out, our future days won't be so good." Elder Qin said with frown, "Our Imperial Race's clan kings are currently discussing. If we attack the Outer Heaven Domain people, our Imperial Race and everyone here will suffer heavy casualties." Inscription World's Family's old man said, "That's right, Dark Royal Race, Evil Sun Race, Sun Hunting Race, and other bastard will definitely take advantage of the situation and kill us. The Imperial Race leaders don't dare to attack the Outer Heaven Domain forces because they have this worry." Elder Dragon looked at Peng Huxiong and asked, "Does your clan from the ancient epoch want to participate? With all of you joining us, we will feel more at ease. Among the ancient era clans, only my Peng clan is here, and we only have a few dozen people." Peng Huxiong shook his head. Many families of the ancient era do not like to participate in such disputes. When they collect enough sun god crystals, they will continue to hide underground. The Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother looked into the distance and snorted coldly. The Sun Hunters and the Sun Spirits, they're all gloating. If the heavenly monster comes out, they will naturally be fine, but the Immortal Desolate will be in danger. Many people will escape from the Immortal Desolate or die in the hands of the heavenly monsters. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said, "Even heartless Immortal Venerable can't deal with a heavenly monster. It would be difficult for us to kill it. Those guys from the Sun Spirit race and the powers of the Outer Heaven region all hope that the fewer people in the Immortal Desolate, the better. That way, they can occupy even more resources." Elder Qin cursed in a low voice. On the magic mirror, there are all kinds of news that the powers of the Outer Heaven region want to release the heavenly monsters to harm the Immortal Desolate. In short, the news that the Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor controlled the magic mirror caused many people in the Immortal Desolate to be hostile towards the people of the Outer Heaven region, as well as the evil powers like the Dark Royal Race and the Sun Hunters. Just as the people of the Outer Heaven region were frantically attacking the Tomb City, a large jade white gourd suddenly flew out of the Tomb City's gate. That large gourd is the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. The spectators in the distance of the Tomb City all cried out in alarm. For many days, there was no news of Qin Yin, causing many people to believe that he died in the Tomb City. Some even guessed that his Divine Universe Golden Stone had fallen into the hands of heartless Immortal Venerable. Therefore, the people of the Outer Heaven region were very anxious to attack the city and capture heartless Immortal Venerable. And now, as soon as the Heaven Leaping Shuttle appeared, all kinds of large flying ships immediately attacked. As soon as the Heaven Leaping Shuttle appeared, it immediately passed through space and left the gate. All of the attacks had missed. Many large flying ships stopped attacking the Tomb City. The Divine Cosmos Goldstone in Qin Yun's hand is very large, so the Divine Cosmos power fluctuations it emitted are very strong. This is something that the people of the Outer Heaven domain are certain of. Outer Sky domain's people originally only wanted to snatch the divine universe golden stone, but later they found out that heartless immortal venerable was still alive and was with heavenly monster, so heartless immortal venerable became their target. One should know that heartless immortal venerable once caused the Outer Heaven domain to suffer heavy losses. This humiliation was something that many Outer Heaven domain forces could never forget. Seeing the heaven-leaping shuttle appear, the Imperial clan's forces felt a lot more at ease. They also thought that the Outer Sky Realm's people would stop attacking. But unexpectedly, the hundreds of flying ships from the Outer Heaven domain continued to attack the Tomb City after a moment of silence. Their primary target was no longer Qin Yun. Qin Yun was very puzzled. He thought that the people from the Outer Heaven domain would chase him once he ran out. If that happened, the pressure on Tomb City would be reduced. He really didn't expect the Outer Heaven forces to hate heartless, immortal venerable so much. Qin Yun replied to his friends through the magic mirror, telling them that he was safe and that he was fine. Qin brat, you stayed inside for so long. How was the situation? Elder Qin asked Qin Yun through the magic mirror. Heartless, immortal, venerable couldn't suppress those heavenly monsters. He was almost killed before I saved him. Qin Yun said, I thought that after I left the city, the Outer Heaven domain's forces would stop attacking. Peng Huxiong said, Outer Heaven domain's people have a blood feud with heartless, immortal venerable. Also, they attacked the immortal desolate several times, but failed. So they want to take this opportunity to release the heavenly monsters and eliminate heartless, immortal venerable. They want the immortal desolate to fall into chaos and wash away their shame. Netherworld Great Emperor said, Xiao Yun, you are still the target of the Outer Heaven domain's forces. They just haven't captured you yet. As long as the divine universe golden stone is in your hands, no matter where you are, they will be able to sense it. Oh, that's right. Did you see the immortal desolate sacred master? Qin Yun suddenly asked. This guy's strength is not weak. Where did he go? About this, it seems like he suddenly disappeared. Immortal Emperor Ancient City's city master said, he was here before. This coward! Qin Yun knew that the immortal desolate sacred master would definitely run away at the critical moment. Qin Yun is helpless. He immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew back to Tomb City. Seeing Qin Yun return to Tomb City, everyone found it hard to understand. Especially Qin Yun's friends. They all thought that Qin Yun would leave this place. They all used the magic mirror to contact Qin Yun, because the Tomb City spatial barrier is unable to contact him. The sky above Tomb City is still shrouded in black fog, but there is white light inside the city. After the heaven-leaping shuttle flew in, Qin Yun saw heartless, immortal venerable being chased by a several-meter-tall, great heavenly monster. This great heavenly monster is different from the other heavenly monsters. It is humanoid. The other heavenly monsters all have 4 limbs like a cow. Their heads are flower-like huge mouths. But this great heavenly monster is a giant. Its head only has a big mouth. Its palms are also flower-like big mouths. The heavenly monsters here could all turn invisible, but they would show themselves during battle. Why did you come back? Heartless immortal venerable saw the heaven-leaping shuttle and shouted in shock. I thought that if I left, those guys would stop attacking the city. I didn't expect that their target was not me. Qin Yun said, of course, they once spent thousands of years attacking the immortal desolate and suffered incomparably huge losses, causing their foundation to waver. It's impossible for them not to hate me. Heartless immortal venerable said, they want to release the heavenly monsters to harm the immortal desolate. Although heartless immortal venerable is a short old man, his aura is very strong. The huge battle axe in his hand is flickering with golden splendor. Seeing the huge axe, Qin Yun said in shock, Senior, the battle axe in your hand, is it Sun Soul? Yes, heartless immortal venerable said. It's a Sun Soul from the last era. Qin Yun now understands why the Sun Spirit race wanted to monopolize this Tomb City. It's because they knew that Heartless Immortal Venerable's weapon is a sun's soul. Heartless Immortal Venerable jumped back and forth, fighting fiercely with the great heavenly monster. As for the other small heavenly monsters, they crazily spewed out black, evil energy from their mouths. Heartless Immortal Venerable's body was hit by that kind of energy. Although his body is injured, he still brandished his huge axe to attack the great heavenly monster. Regardless of whether it is Heartless Immortal Venerable or the great heavenly monster, the power they erupted with is extremely terrifying. They set off waves of storm that destroyed the buildings inside the city. Originally, the buildings inside the city were not destroyed much. Many of them were new, but now they have all turned into ruins. Qin Yun and you are inside the heaven-leaping shuttle, watching the battle between Heartless Immortal Venerable and the great heavenly monster. They felt fear and trepidation in their hearts. Heartless Immortal Venerable is not the great heavenly monster's match. Yu said, the recovery power of those heavenly monsters is too astonishing. Moreover, their bodies are very strong and very difficult to kill. No wonder they were sealed. The reason why the heavenly monsters are so powerful is because they absorb the divine cosmos power to cultivate. Qin Yun waved his hand and released the 9-dragon heavenly steel. He looked at the 9 mighty dragon rune heavenly steel and said, Sister Yu, I believe that only an even stronger divine cosmos power can exterminate those heavenly monsters. I plan to go out and release the divine cosmos golden stone. Then, I will cooperate with the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and kill those heavenly monsters. This is very dangerous, but we can give it a try. I will cooperate with you. Yu nodded her head. I will protect you. I can't kill those heavenly monsters, but it won't be a problem to deal with them for a while. Qin Yun nodded his head. Let's go out immediately and save Senior Heartless first. If this continues, he will be killed by that great heavenly monster. I'm ready. Yu is holding a saber in her hand. One is a black curved saber that looks like a full moon, and the other is a straight saber that flickered with cold light. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and teleported them out. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation was also teleported out. And now, the great heavenly monster and many small heavenly monsters are attacking Heartless Immortal Venerable together. After Qin Yun and Yu left, they appeared beside Heartless Immortal Venerable. Chapter 1797. Dragon Formation Exterminating Monsters. Ever since Qin Yun cultivated inside the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation, he has gained some understanding of it. As long as the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation has enough energy, it can release very strong defense. The 9 dragons heavenly origin array could be used for both offense and defense, and it could even be used to refine some special energies, such as the divine universe power of the divine universe goldstones. The moment Qin Yun and Yu appeared, the heavenly monsters became even more irritable and attacked them. Some of the heavenly monsters charged wildly, while others spewed out streams of black energy from their mouths, bombarding the barrier created by the 9 dragons heaven formation. The circle formed by the 9-dragon rune heavenly steels is several meters wide. Yu is holding 2 sabers and looking at the heavenly monsters. As for Qin Yun, he is looking after a motionless immortal venerable who has fallen on the ground. Senior, how are you feeling? Can it heal itself? As Qin Yun asked, he took out a few healing immortal talismans engraved with light patterns and stuck them on Immortal Supremacy Heartless. Emotionless Immortal Venerable laid on the ground. His skinny hands were very powerful as he tightly grabbed the golden battle axe. His deep eyes looked at the great heavenly monster. The big sky monster's palm slammed down. There was a mouth full of sharp teeth in the middle of the palm, and it spewed out a violent black energy that crashed into the barrier. Although the ground was shaking violently, the energy was unable to penetrate it. I can recover on my own. Venerable Heartless was relieved when he saw that the great heavenly monster couldn't break in. Emotionless immortal supremacy is very astonished because the nine-dragon heavenly origin array released by Qin Yun is very powerful. It can actually withstand the siege of so many heavenly monsters. A large amount of profound Saint Silver crystals have been placed inside the 9 dragon-marked heavenly steels. The Dragon Rune Heavenly Tablet absorbed the Saint energy from the Saint Profound Silver crystals and activated the 9 Dragons Heaven Origin Formation. A large number of profound Saint Silver crystals were being consumed every second. "Leave quickly, don't worry about me," Emotionless Senior Immortal said firmly. "I deserve to die 10,000 times for my crime. If it wasn't for my negligence, these heavenly monsters wouldn't have appeared." Yu said, "Senior, Outer Heaven Realm people are very powerful. We need you to repel those guys again. Although Xiao Yun is very strong, his strength is limited. We must save you and fight against the Outer Heavens together." Heartless Immortal Venerable clenched his battle axe and sat up from the pool of blood. He looked at those heavenly monsters and said, "If the heavenly monsters don't die, what's the use of repelling the outer heavens? I am the sinner of the immortal desolate. I harmed the entire immortal desolate." Qin Yin took out a box. Inside the box is the divine universe golden stone. He said, "When the next sun falls, immortal desolate and sacred desolate will be destroyed. The immortal desolate will be destroyed sooner or later. Everyone in the immortal desolate must be prepared to escape. During this period of time, there will be sun god crystals in the immortal desolate. We must not let the outer heavens get what belongs to us." Heartless Immortal Venerable sighed. "Back then, it was also because I obtained the divine universe golden stone that I attracted a large number of outer heavens to attack the immortal desolate. They didn't come for the sun god crystal at all. Senior, you're also very powerful to be able to repel them," Qin Yin said with a smile. "I don't have that kind of strength right now. I was the one who lured them here. Moreover, they also caused great harm to the immortal desolate. I swore at that time that I would definitely make them pay the price." Heartless Immortal Venerable let out a long sigh. His expression is dispirited as he said, "I successfully killed the enemies of the outer heavens, but was betrayed by my heartless immortal sex great elder. He took advantage of my weakness and joined hands with many powerful disciples to steal the divine universe golden stone." Qin Yun and Yu are both slightly astonished. They looked at each other. They did not expect that there would be such a story. "I am not some immortal venerable," Heartless Immortal Venerable said. "I am not worthy of the respect of all living beings in the immortal desolate. Quickly leave. Don't waste your life on me, a sinner of all time." Qin Yin opened the box. The divine universe golden stone inside the box suddenly floated up. The 9 faces of the divine universe golden stone released 9 colored light rays. The light rays turned into chains and entered the center of the 9 heavenly steels, connecting to the 9 dragon heavenly rune inside. The 9 dragon heavenly steel also stopped absorbing the sacred Xian silver crystal's energy. Because the divine universe golden stone's energy is far more powerful than the sacred Xian silver crystal. Heartless Immortal Venerable looked at the divine universe golden stone and opened his mouth wide in shock. He shouted, "This is your divine universe golden stone? Why is it so big?" The heavenly monsters outside the barrier became even more berserk. They kept hitting the barrier and roaring crazily, as if they are possessed. "This is my divine universe golden stone," Qin Yin said with a smile. "I didn't expect that it could be released outside of the 3-layer space. How did you do it? How can you control the divine universe golden stone like this?" Heartless Immortal Venerable looked all around and shouted, "Those heavenly monsters all want to absorb the divine universe power." Qin Yin said, "Senior, the heavenly monsters are formed by stealing the divine universe power. Therefore, they have cultivated a very powerful body and are very difficult to kill. And I believe that if we want to kill the heavenly monsters, we have to rely on the divine universe power. This, I never thought of it." because I don't know where to go to obtain the divine universe power. Heartless, immortal, venerable was originally in despair, but now his dim eyes are like ashes that have been reignited, filled with hope. The power of the divine universe golden stone can indeed kill the heavenly monsters. Qin Yun said, Senior, don't give up. As long as we take down the heavenly monsters, we will need you to deal with the people from the outer heaven domain. All right, as long as we can kill these heavenly monsters, I will make the people from the outer heaven domain fall into endless fear because of me. Heartless, immortal, venerable said word by word. Qin Yun nodded and said, Then I will start operating the Great Formation. The nine-dragon heavenly origin formation has absorbed enough energy from the divine universe golden stone. Under Qin Yun's control, the 9 heavenly steels suddenly shook and then started revolving on the spot. 9 colored light burst out. 9 colored light appeared around Qin Yun and company. The dense 9 colored light mist turned into a whirlpool. The heavenly monsters that are crazily charging into the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation were sucked in by the revolving 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation crazily revolved and emitted 9 colored light mist. The heavenly monsters that were sucked in by the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation were crushed in an instant. It's effective, Qin Yun said with a smile. Indeed, only the divine universe power can deal with these heavenly monsters. Heartless, immortal, venerable looked at the heavenly monsters around him turn into blood mist one after another. He is so excited that his entire body trembled. This is something he has wanted to kill for many years. After experiencing for more than an era, he only killed 100 or so. And Qin Yun killed a large number of them in an instant. The great heavenly monster crazily roared. Obviously, it felt fear. It also wanted to leave the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, but it was sucked in by the power. The largest great heavenly monster has now been twisted into pieces, and its body turned into energy. Seeing the leader of the great heavenly monsters killed, Heartless, immortal, venerable, who was tightly holding the battle axe, immediately felt relaxed. The battle axe also fell to the ground. Killing this group of heavenly monsters has been his wish for many years. He was unable to do it, but Qin Yun can. Heartless, immortal, venerable's eyes are filled with admiration as he looked at Qin Yun, who is controlling the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. Everything that Qin Yun has done has already exceeded Heartless, immortal, venerable's understanding. Heartless, immortal, venerable is very familiar with the power of the heavenly monsters. He is very clear that the bodies of the heavenly monsters are very difficult to kill. And now, Qin Yun seems to be able to easily kill the heavenly monsters. Qin Yun mainly relied on the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and the divine universe golden stone. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation is something that he experienced a lot to create, and the divine universe golden stone is something that he experienced 3 lifetimes to be able to use. Senior, properly heal your injuries. There are many people from the outer heaven domain waiting for you to deal with them. Yi said. She saw that Qin Yun smoothly killed the heavenly monsters and felt very happy in her heart. She knew that this man would never let her down. Although I'm injured now, I can definitely block those guys. Heartless, immortal, venerable said. The divine universe golden stone is devouring the energy of those heavenly monsters. The energy within the heavenly monsters' bodies is the power of the divine universe. Now, it is returning to the divine universe golden stone. Qin Yun said, That's good. The divine universe golden stone doesn't belong to me. Heartless, immortal, venerable said, This calamity stone truly lives up to its reputation. If it's not strong enough, there's no way to suppress the misfortune brought by the calamity stone. You are still the most awesome, as expected of someone who possesses such a large piece of divine universe golden stone. Heartless, immortal, venerable is not the least bit jealous of Qin Yun, nor does he have any thoughts of snatching the divine universe golden stone. It's not that he doesn't want to, but rather he doesn't dare to have the thought of snatching it, because he knows that as long as he possesses the divine universe golden stone, a reign of terror will follow. Back then, because he possessed the divine universe golden stone, it caused a large number of outer heaven domain people to attack the immortal desolate. Whether it is the immortal desolate or the outer heaven domain, both suffered heavy casualties. And his heartless immortal sect was also exterminated. Because of this, heartless immortal venerable somewhat hates the nine-yang divine palace from the bottom of his heart, because it was the nine-yang divine palace that gave him the divine universe golden stone. Senior, although my great formation can deal with the heavenly monsters, it might not be able to deal with those outer heaven domain people. Qin said, so after we go out, we can only rely on you. All right, heartless immortal venerable said, after we go out, you can rest assured and leave this place. Leave this place to me. There will be many righteous, powerful sects and clans in the immortal desolate outside. They will join hands with you to fight against the outer heaven domain people. You said, heartless immortal venerable nodded. He closed his eyes and calmed his mind to heal. Inside the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation, his injuries healed even faster. Qin controlled the divine universe golden stone and released some divine cosmos power into Heartless Immortal Venerable's body. Heartless Immortal Venerable also sensed it. He did not resist, because the divine cosmos power is also beneficial to him. The barrier outside the tomb city suffered continuous attacks from the outer heaven domain people. It is very noisy, and unceasing rumbling sounds are heard. And inside the tomb city, it is becoming more and more quiet. The nine-colored mist around the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation also gradually disappeared. The heavenly monster corpses turned into energy and were absorbed by the divine universe golden stone. What caused Qin to be astonished is that the divine universe golden stone has become a bit bigger. Xiaoyun, is this my misconception? I feel that the divine universe golden stone seems to have become a bit bigger. Yu opened her beautiful eyes wide and looked at the divine universe golden stone. It's not a misconception. The divine universe golden stone has indeed become a bit bigger. Qin said with a smile. After the divine universe power within the heavenly monsters returned, it actually made the divine universe golden stone bigger. Chapter 1798. Heartless Demon Heartless Immortal Venerable's injuries were almost healed, and he was in an extremely good mood. Over the years, he has been repenting and feeling very guilty. Today, when the heavenly monsters were finally killed, the knot in his heart was untied. Senior, how did you deal with the heavenly monsters you killed previously? Asked Qin. I've absorbed those corpses. The Heartless Immortal Venerable said, the power of the divine universe golden stone is very powerful. The heavenly monster has the power of the divine universe in its body, but it hasn't lost any of it over the years. Yu looked at the surroundings that have turned into ruins and exclaimed, those heavenly monsters have lived for so many years, yet their bodies are still so active. There is no sign of aging. Divine cosmos power is indeed powerful. I'm only able to survive to this day because of the corpses of the heavenly monsters I killed. Emotionless, immortal Venerable's face was full of great changes. He had spent this era in this city and fought with heavenly monsters all day long. This meant that his strength would be even stronger than before. Senior, have you become a sage? Asked Qin curiously. No, I can't become a saint. I cannot enter the sacred desolate. Heartless Immortal Venerable shook his head. My existence is rather special. Back then, the Nanyang Divine Palace gave me a special mission to protect the immortal desolate forever. So you are the new immortal desolate, Sacred Master? Qin said in astonishment. You can say so. Senior Immortal Heartless nodded. Much better than that damn big-headed ghost. Qin smiled. The immortal desolate, Sacred Master outside is a coward. Other than saying some scary words or acting, he has never shown his might. The only time it showed its prowess was when it almost killed Xie Yang. Then, the Dark Royal Race appeared. With the Dark Royal Race protecting the Xie Yang race, the immortal desolate Saint Master didn't attack Xie anymore. He was also afraid of being killed by the Dark Royal race. Senior, how did you obtain your sun's soul? Did that Nine-Yang divine palace give it to me? Yu said, and took out her sun-suppressing divine arrow. The sun-suppressing divine arrow was her trump card. She usually used it to trick people. And the sun-suppressing divine arrow was related to the Nine-Yang divine palace. No, I got it by chance. The Nine-Yang divine palace also knows that they are only helping me so that my sun's soul will never fall asleep. Venerable Heartless said, what kind of existence is the Nine-Yang divine palace? Why are they leaving the Nine-Yang heavenly domain? Qin Yun is very curious. The Nine-Yang divine palace is not in the Nine-Yang heavenly domain. Senior Immortal Heartless shook his head. I don't know the current situation of the Nine-Yang divine palace. I only know that the founder of the Nine-Yang divine palace is from the Nine-Yang royal family. Although the Nine Sons royal family was destroyed, some of their bloodline still remained. They founded the Nine Sons divine palace to protect the Nine Sons heavenly region from being bullied by the outer heavens. Yu sighed. The Nine-Yang divine palace has left. They might have given up on the Nine-Yang heavenly domain. No matter what, the Nine-Yang heaven region is our root. We can't allow outer heaven regions to trample on it. Heartless Immortal Venerable said coldly. That's right. Qin nodded. The heavenly Nine Dragons formation continued to operate. The fluctuations released by the Divine Universe Goldstone also became even more intense. Qin Yun is no longer afraid of the outer heaven domain people because Emotionless Immortal Venerable is here to deal with them. With such a person intimidating outer heaven domain forces, Immortal Desolate will be much more peaceful. Qin Yun chuckled and said, Senior, we will sneak out later. They will definitely continue to attack the city. We will stab them in the back. Emotionless Immortal Venerable said with a smile. Although it's not open and above board, it's nothing to deal with outer heaven domain forces who bully with numbers. All right, once I recover, I'll go out and ruthlessly teach them a lesson. Qin Yun released the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. As long as Emotionless Immortal Venerable recovers, coupled with the Sun's soul in his hands, he will become incomparably powerful. It can be said that he is invincible in the Immortal Desolate. It should be very difficult to eliminate the outer heaven domain forces, right? Yu said, how much time would it take to completely exterminate them? It's hard to say. In short, I spent a very long time fighting with them back then. Emotionless Immortal Venerable shook his head. Today is different from the past. The current environment of the Immortal Desolate is very changeable, especially in terms of resources. Qin Yun said, it's also because the sun is about to fall that the remaining few creatures of the Great Desolate obtain the power bestowed by the sun and advance by leaps and bounds at the last moment. Emotionless Immortal Venerable nodded and said, after I leave, I will definitely familiarize myself with the environment of the Immortal Desolate as soon as possible. Let's work together and exterminate the outer heaven domain people so that they won't dare to come again. Outside the Tomb City, several powerful immortal emperors suddenly arrived from the Imperial race side. After the immortal emperors arrived, the numerous flying ships of the outer heaven domain forces stopped attacking the Tomb City. The strongest clan kings of the Imperial race have arrived. The powerful pressure of the clan kings caused even the outer heaven domain people to feel fear. It must be known that in the eyes of the outer heaven domain people, the Immortal Desolate is very weak. Previously, the Sun Spirit race that flaunted their might was beaten to a sorry state by the Heavenly Horn heavenly domain people. Not to mention that now there are a large number of outer heaven domain people who are as strong as the Heavenly Horn people gathered here. Therefore, in the eyes of the outer heaven domain people, the Immortal Desolate is like an ant nest that can be easily destroyed. However, after the appearance of several powerful clan kings from the Imperial race, the outer heaven domain people began to re-evaluate the strength of the Imperial race. Previously, the Qin clan king had appeared before. At that time, He also appeared for Qinyan. And this time, several powerful clan kings appeared at the same time to prevent the outer heaven domain people from attacking the Tomb City. Once the Tomb City is breached, the heavenly monsters will scatter in all directions. If they escape into the immortal desolate, it will be a great disaster. The people of the outer heaven domain can leave, but the people of the immortal desolate are miserable. The people of the immortal desolate want to use the resources that have fallen to become stronger. Only by doing this, after leaving the Nine-Yang heavenly domain, would they have enough strength to cross multiple star fields and fight against the people of the outer heaven domain. The appearance of several powerful clan kings is very obvious. It means that the imperial race is going to take action and fight against the people of the outer heaven domain. On the magic mirror, many people are discussing, and many hot-blooded heroes of the immortal desolate are currently rushing to the 10,000 Snake Mountain range. They also want to do their part to fight against the people of the outer heaven domain. At this time, the imperial race, Nether Sect, Guanghan Palace, Holy Sun Ancient City, Inscription World, and many other righteous powers of the immortal desolate are all people who are filled with deep veneration because they want to protect the immortal desolate. As for the immortal family, Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, Dark Royal Family, and other evil powers, they're all cursed and scolded by many people of the immortal desolate. After the numerous flying ships of the outer heaven domain stopped attacking for a while, they immediately resumed attacking. They have already decided to break through the Tomb City. People of the outer heaven domain stopped. The Imperial Dragon Clan King roared. His roar was like a dragon's. That vast and mighty dragon might caused even many powerful immortal emperors to feel fear. The people of the outer heaven domain all entered those large ships. Clearly, the great battle was about to begin. Ants of the immortal desolate, in our eyes, you are just a bunch of stray dogs. Don't be arrogant. Waves of cold laughter came out from one of the flying ships. If it wasn't for the Divine Universe Golden Stone here, we wouldn't have come to such a shabby place like yours. Coming to the immortal desolate makes me feel like I've entered a rat's nest. Another large ship sneered, and at this time, all sorts of laughter came out from those large ships. The people of the outer heaven domain are all laughing at the immortal desolate. Imperial Dragon Clan, listen up, do your best, and kill all the bastards from the outer heaven domain. The Imperial Dragon Clan King roared. Suddenly, 10,000 dragons roared in unison, overflowing with dragon might, causing heaven and earth to shake. A murderous aura surged along with the wind and clouds. Countless berserk dragons roared. Their auras seemed to be able to swallow the sun, moon, mountains, and rivers. One after another, huge berserk dragons surged like huge waves, bringing with them a boundless aura as they majestically charged towards those flying ships in the distance. The powerful immortal emperors of various righteous powers also came out in full force and charged towards those flying ships. Ants are ants, the experts of the outer heaven domain sneered. Hoo. A gale swept up. Several huge stars suddenly appeared in the sky and formed an extremely powerful formation, enveloping the many flying ships of the outer heaven domain. The people of the outer heaven domain can actually release a large number of stars and quickly form a huge and powerful formation. Thousands of large and small stars moved back and forth in the sky, as if the stars were moving, changing back and forth with all kinds of runes, forming an extremely powerful formation. When the experts of the immortal desolate saw the formation, they are all horrified. They admit that the outer heaven domain is indeed more developed than them in all aspects. At least they don't have an inscription master who can capture high-grade stars to set up a formation. The outer heaven domain only released this 10,000 star formation and blocked the attack of 10,000 dragons. Everyone be careful. That formation is preparing an extremely powerful attack. Someone from the Inscription World suddenly shouted, "Everyone retreat! Quickly retreat!" When everyone heard this, they quickly retreated. The 10,000 star formation can withstand the attack of so many powerful immortal emperors. If it is activated, it will definitely be very terrifying. The experts of the immortal desolate still underestimated the strength of the experts of the outer heaven domain. They now have no choice but to submit to heartless immortal venerable. Because heartless immortal venerable killed these powerful people of the outer heaven domain out of their shadows. Even though an era has passed, these people of the outer heaven domain still want to eat heartless immortal venerable alive. Inside the tomb city, Qin Yun used the extinction spirit to see through the black fog above the tomb city. He saw a large number of stars in the sky, so close to the ground. He knew that the people of the outer heaven domain released the stars they captured to set up a formation. He has seen this kind of dynamic rune formation with moving stars before. Star gods can do it. Senior, we have to leave early, Qin Yun said. The commotion outside is so big, it must be the battle between the outer heaven domain and the immortal desolate. Let's go out. Heartless immortal venerable held his battle axe and said, after fighting with the heavenly monsters for so many years, I can finally relax a bit. To heartless immortal venerable, fighting with the people of the outer heaven domain is just relaxing. Qin Yun stored the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and divine universe golden stone, and then entered the heaven leaping shuttle. Yu is now ready to fight. Heartless immortal venerable is inside the heaven leaping shuttle. Looking ahead, he is extremely excited in his heart because he is finally going to leave this damn place. Let's go. The heaven leaping shuttle flew out. After leaving, Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven leaping shuttle to the back of the flying ships. The outer heaven domain forces also discovered something approaching. Senior, it's up to you. Qin Yun teleported heartless immortal venerable out. Chapter 1799. Holy Land, War. The outer heaven domain's flying ships are protected by a superstar formation. That powerful barrier is now being attacked by 10,000 dragons and immortal desolates, powerful immortal emperors. The barrier is shaking. Although the star formation is very powerful and the sky is filled with stars, it can't withstand the combined power of so many experts. It won't last long. When the immortal desolate experts who are attacking the barrier saw heartless immortal venerable appear, they became extremely excited and let out a burst of heaven-shaking and earth-shaking cheers. As the cheers spread out, the power of the experts seemed to be stimulated and became even stronger. That star formation seems to be on the verge of being broken. Heartless immortal venerable has appeared. This caused the outer heaven domain's forces to be incomparably surprised. In their eyes, heartless immortal venerable is a powerful old devil. Heartless immortal venerable descended from the sky. Holding a mighty battle axe, he chopped down at one of the flying ships. The axe's sharp blade flashed with a golden arc of light. The arc of light is like a strong, huge ripple that swept towards the 1,000-meter-long flying ship. Rumble! A loud sound shook the sky. The outer heaven domain's flying ship was split in half by heartless immortal venerable's axe. The inside of the ship was also impacted by the axe's power and exploded inside. When the two pieces of the flying ship fell to the ground, the two pieces of the ship also exploded. Many octopus-like people flew out from inside. They are covered with cuts and bruises. All of them are angry and fearful. A large number of corpses fell to the ground. It could be seen how terrifying heartless immortal venerable's axe was. Seeing this scene, the immortal desolate experts finally understood why the outer heaven domain's people regarded heartless immortal venerable as an old devil. Boom boom. Heartless immortal venerable swept his axe at the two flying ships not far away. Light arcs flashed with irresistible force, bringing with it a vast and mighty aura. It let out a sharp, whistling sound, as if it can sweep through the world. The nearby flying ships all shattered in the blink of an eye. Waves of angry curses came out, as well as all kinds of miserable screams. In just a short while, the inside of the star formation became like hell. The outer heaven domain people suffered heavy casualties. When Xinyan saw this scene, he couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. Heartless immortal venerable's strength is indeed terrifying. Xinyan suddenly sensed the spatial fluctuations of the divine mountain. He immediately took out the magic mirror and contacted Xiaohua. "Boss, we are nearby," Xiaohua said. "The little black donkey and the others are back. Can we attack now? When the great formation is broken, control the divine inscription mountain to enter." Qingyun said. "All right," Xiaohua said. How could such a huge matter be lacking the divine inscription mountain? The divine inscription mountain is also quite famous in the immortal desolate. The inscription gate is also a very powerful sect in the immortal desolate. Qin Yun released the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade to collect a large number of remnant souls. One had to know that these people from the outer heaven domain weren't weak. Their remnant souls were also excellent sacrificial offerings. The tomb city was not breached, but Heartless Immortal Venerable managed to escape. The appearance of Heartless Immortal Venerable also caused the outer heaven forces to panic. Continue to attack the city. We must release the heavenly monsters. Once the heavenly monster appears, it will be the doomsday of the immortal desolate ants. A flying ship with extremely strong defense released a loud shout. In a short period of time, more than 100 of the flying ships here were destroyed by Heartless Immortal Venerable. The flying ships of the outer heaven domain mainly focused their energy on attacking the tomb city. Furthermore, they had the protection of the powerful star great formation, so their ships did not have a protective barrier. Now, many of the flying ships reacted and immediately released their defensive barriers. At this moment, a series of whistling sounds came from the distance. Qinyan looked into the distance and saw many flying ships whistling over. They're the outer heaven domain's flying ships. There are many forces from the outer heaven domain deployed in the immortal desolate. Those flying ships are here as reinforcements. If there were no reinforcements, the powerful star great formation would be destroyed by the experts of the immortal desolate. Although the outer heaven domain forces looked down on the experts of the immortal desolate, they knew that if the experts of the immortal desolate joined hands, the power they could unleash would be extremely terrifying, especially those powerful dragons. Each one of them was bigger than a flying ship. Go! The Emperor Dragon Clan King saw the flying ships coming to reinforce them and roared loudly. A 1,000-meter-long ship covered in armor and protective barrier was suddenly swept away by the tail of a huge dragon that flickered with red light. The giant ship wasn't broken, it was only sent flying. The huge dragon quickly flew over and coiled around the huge ship. The powerful dragon flickered with red light and entangled the 2 to 3,000-meter-long flying ship. Moreover, intense flames erupted from its body and the dragon roared unceasingly. In an instant, the flying ship was tightly twisted and turned into a sea of flames. The scene is extremely shocking. There are also hundreds of flying ships that flew over as reinforcements, but they were blocked by hundreds of huge dragons in an instant. Seeing the power of these huge dragons, the experts of the Immortal Desolate are secretly alarmed. This is the power of an imperial clan. The ones who attacked just now were the dragon warriors of the Dragon Manor and the Dragon Race. The experts of the Immortal Desolate were also split up, causing them to be unable to concentrate on attacking the Star Great Formation. And the flying ships inside the Star Great Formation are resisting Heartless Immortal Venerable's destructive power and crazily attacking the Tomb City. Qin Yin finds it somewhat funny because there are no heavenly monsters in the Tomb City. Heartless Immortal Venerable originally needed 2 or 3 axe strikes to destroy a flying ship, but now he needs over 100 axe strikes. Moreover, he also needs to dodge the attacks of the many powerful Outer Heaven Realm people inside the flying ship. Many experts survived from the 100 or so flying ships that were destroyed earlier. Now they're also frantically attacking Heartless Immortal Venerable. Heartless Immortal Venerable is being besieged by hundreds of Outer Heaven Realm experts, but he can still easily dodge. Moreover, he can even kill Outer Heaven Realm expert from time to time. Sister Yu, let's go out and help, Qin Yun said with a smile. Let's do some damage and get rid of those stars. He pointed at the stars in the sky. Yu said with a smile, I'm good at this. When I was on the moon, I often went to the starry sky to stroll around. I really like to destroy some stars. Leave it to me. All right, be careful, Qin Yun said with a smile, and then teleported Yu to the vicinity of a star. Soon after, Qin Yun also ran out. Yu held the sun-suppressing divine arrow and arrived near the star. She shot an arrow. Formidable immortal emperor power surged out along with the arrow. That blood-red immortal emperor power is like a surging great river. In an instant, it pierced through a 10,000-meter wide star. Boom! After the star was pierced through, Yu waved her jade hand and shot out a very large blood-colored light ball. The blood-colored light ball entered the hole created by the sun-suppressing divine arrow and exploded inside, shattering the huge star. When the people outside saw the star shatter, they were immediately shocked, because other than Heartless Immortal Venerable, there are other people inside. When Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to come out, he hit it and was not discovered. Because he is near the Tomb City, the Outer Heaven Realm people did not discover that the Divine Universe Golden Stone is far away from the Tomb City. Therefore, no one discovered that Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle has come out. Indeed, many flying ships sensed something, but after Heartless Immortal Venerable appeared, he quickly destroyed those flying ships. Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle can better hide within the tyrannical aura. At this moment, Qin Yun also rushed toward the star. From a distance, he sent a palm attack towards the star and used Star-Breaking Palm. Star-Breaking Palm is a kind of Dao technique. It is used in conjunction with the vibration Immortal Martial Spirit, a vast and mighty vibration power, along with a ferocious and monstrous might, charged towards the star ahead. Qin Yun's Immortal Emperor Zhu Yang's power is extremely dreadful. Even Yu, who is far away, is endlessly apprehensive. Because Qin Yun has just become an immortal emperor, yet his power is already so strong. Boom! The star-breaking palm bombarded the star, and the vibration power poured into the star. The star immediately shattered into pieces. Another star had exploded. Not bad. Qin Yun just sensed how strong he is after becoming an immortal emperor. He nodded his head in satisfaction. Then he quickly attacked the nearby stars with his palm. Boom, boom, boom. The sky trembled continuously. In a short period of time, Qin Yun and Yu destroyed more than 10 stars. The fragments of the stars turned into many meteorites and fell down, smashing onto the flying ships. Those guys are coming over. Xiao Yun, quickly destroy the crucial stars. Ling Yun urged. Many people from the Outer Heaven domain are rushing over. Qin Yun took out the floating cloud rod and flew towards a slightly larger star. The floating cloud rod suddenly became very long. Qin Yun poured his absolute yang power into the floating cloud rod. After the floating cloud rod absorbs formidable power, it will increase its power by several times. Boom! All the experts from the Immortal Desolate outside the Star Great Formation's barrier saw the very long rod attack a sparkling star. The long rod fiercely smashed onto the star. Following a loud explosion, the 10,000-meter wide star was cut into two by an incomparably powerful power and then exploded in the air. A large amount of fragments splashed out like fireworks. It's Qin Yun. That guy is Qin Yun, someone suddenly exclaimed. Broken square rod. That is Qin Yun's most terrifying weapon, someone cried out in alarm. Qin Yun suddenly appeared together with a motionless, immortal venerable. Everyone immediately thought of something. The people from the Immortal Desolate can see the intense battle through the Devil Mirror. At this moment, they also realized that a motionless, immortal venerable was brought out by Qin Yun. The The people from the outer heaven domain immediately started cursing at Qin Yun. Qin Yun released emotionless immortal venerable, causing great losses to the people from the outer heaven domain. Moreover, Qin Yun is still attacking those stars. As a few key stars were destroyed, the Stargate Formation's barrier also became extremely weak. Ho! A burst of whistling sound rang out. The Stargate Formation's barrier was suddenly broken. Rushing forward are all kinds of roaring, angry dragons. The flying ships of the outer heaven domain's powers all began fleeing. However, the surroundings have already been covered by powerful dragons. A large number of dragons swooped down and aimed at those flying ships, colliding with them or entangling them. Then the others cooperated and attacked those flying ships. In an instant, the 10,000 Snake Mountain Range and the Sun Holy Land erupted into a chaotic and shocking battle. Qin Yun also took advantage of the chaos to absorb the stars in the sky that are out of control into the nine-sun divine soul. The divine inscription mountain, which has become very small, mixed into the battlefield. Qin Yun immediately flew back to the divine inscription mountain. As for Yu Yu, she went to meet up with the people from the Guanghan Palace. Chapter 1800. Four heavenly kings. Qin Yun returned to the divine inscription mountain. He met up with Xiao Hua, Azure Dragon, and the others inside the divine inscription mountain. In the space inside the divine inscription mountain, one could see the situation outside. In addition, the divine inscription mountain had a very strong defense, so traveling through the battlefield was very stable. The immortal emperors of the immortal desolate are no weaker than those guys from the outer heaven domain. Xiao Hua said, outer heaven domain people are only superior in terms of inscription, as well as mastering a large number of very good weapons. Qin Yun nodded and said, the weapons in those guys' hands are made from very good materials. In this aspect, the immortal desolate is inferior to them. The Azure Dragon said, after all, they came from the various powerful heavenly realms. Every powerful heaven region will send out their most outstanding people and provide them with the best weapons. It would be strange if they weren't strong. He Shu clenched his fists and said, if our nine suns heavenly region gathers our strength and sends out our strongest group, we won't be any weaker than them. Right now, many of the top people from the heavenly domain have gathered in the immortal desolate to attack us. Fortunately, there are imperial clans, otherwise it would be difficult to defend against them. The last time outer heaven domains attacked was during Heartless Immortal Venerables era. The sovereign race was in the heaven crater, so they didn't come out. This time, with the Emperor clans present, Immortal Venerable Heartless also felt the power of the Immortal Desolate. Regardless of whether it was the dragon warriors of the imperial clans or the powerful immortal emperors of the other imperial clans, the power they displayed was the most outstanding in the Immortal Desolate. Naturally, the formidable immortal emperors of other great factions are also not weak. For example, Nethersek's Netherworld Great Emperor, Guanghan Palace's Liu Yushuyan, Inscription World's many immortal emperors. Their strength is very formidable, and they can hold their own. Peng Huxiong from the Ancient Era faction also went all out. The power he displayed caused many powerful immortal emperors from the Immortal Desolate to exclaim in admiration. The Holy Sun Ancient City's immortal emperor Ancient City and the participating immortal emperors were also very terrifying. Their teamwork was very good. One must know that the Holy Sun Ancient City floated in the sky. When they were in the Sacred Desolate, they often traveled to the outer heavens, so they had extremely rich experience in dealing with people from the outer heavens. Boss, when are we going? The Black Donkey asked. There is no need to be anxious for now. Qin Yun said, looking at the situation on the battlefield, our Immortal Desolate side has the advantage. Since that's the case, let's not take action for now. Xiao Hua said, I think so too. Those guys from the outer heavens have reinforcements. That's what we need to pay attention to the most. Who knows how many of them will suddenly come? Previously, the outer heaven domain had sent a flying ship to defeat it. The situation on the battlefield was extremely horrifying. Sometimes the sky was pitch black, and sometimes it was bright and resplendent, making it difficult to distinguish day from night. The various mountains in the Thousand Snake Mountain range were crushed by the shock waves of the battle, turning into sand and dust. Along with the various shock waves of the battle, a terrifying sandstorm was formed. Not long after the dust appeared in the sky, it was blown away by the aftermath of the fierce battle. Not long after, all kinds of energy turned into light mists and attacked. All kinds of tyrannical, immortal energy filled the air. Because the immortal energy was too strong, it turned into a mist of light, drifting between heaven and earth, rising and falling along with the energy waves of the great battle, or surging in all directions. Immortal energy was mixed with a bit of saint energy. This was because these powerful immortal emperors were transforming into saints. The immortal emperor energy in their bodies was gradually turning into saint energy. In this kind of intense battle, even Qin Yun didn't dare to participate. Only those peak immortal emperors or powerful dragon warriors could stand firm in this kind of battle. The battlefield is like the end of the world. Even if the sun fell, it will be nothing more than this. The sun's sacred land is indeed a graveyard. Qin Yun activated the great formation of the divine inscription mountain and sucked in all kinds of remnant souls. The casualties on the immortal desolate side are not serious. It can be said that no powerful immortal emperors died because there are powerful dragon warriors at the front. Those huge dragons have rough skin and thick flesh. They're difficult to kill and have endured a large amount of attacks. And the humans, under the protection of the huge dragons, can concentrate their power to attack those flying ships or those strange-looking immortal emperors from the outer heavens. Furthermore, the few clan kings of the emperor race are very powerful. Their strength is not weaker than heartless immortal venerable. The difference between them is only a sun's soul divine weapon. Heartless immortal venerable is the most dazzling on the battlefield. Wherever he goes, the corpses of the outer heavens will explode. Every time he attacks, an outer heavens will be chopped into 8 pieces. Previously, heartless immortal venerable thought that he would have to fight alone because he believed that there is no power in the immortal desolate that is as powerful as the heartless immortal sect. But now, he realized that the sects in this era are not weak. If they join forces, they would be stronger than the heartless immortal sect. And this is under the situation where the emperor race did not join. With the addition of the emperor race and the dragon race, the power of the immortal desolate is extremely terrifying. Otherwise, it would be impossible for them to suppress so many heaven domain powers. Outer heaven domain bastards, you dare to behave atrociously in my immortal desolate. I, the immortal desolate sacred master, will not let you off lightly. The immortal desolate sacred master's domineering voice suddenly shook heaven and earth. From a distance, a resplendent golden palace flew over. It is the immortal desolate sacred palace. The immortal desolate sacred master has arrived. Those who don't know are all cheering for the immortal desolate sacred master, shouting that the immortal desolate sacred master is mighty. And Qin Yun despised this guy in his heart. The immortal desolate sacred master also saw that the situation was favorable. That's why he joined in. He didn't say a word before. 4 heavenly kings. Let's see who can kill more today. The immortal desolate sacred master laughed and said, "Didn't the 4 of you always want to compete? Now the opportunity has come." The immortal desolate sacred master's 4 heavenly kings are also very powerful and famous. On the magic mirror, the figures of the immortal desolate sacred master and the immortal desolate sacred master also appeared. When Qin Yun saw the big-headed person, he knew that the immortal desolate sacred master is pretending. At this moment, the entire immortal desolate is watching. The immortal desolate sacred master is a saint of the immortal desolate. The power within his body is saint power. With him joining in, the pressure on the immortal desolate experts lessened by a lot. Although this idiot big-head ghost is a coward, I have to say that his strength is still very strong. Qin said. When the immortal desolate sacred master entered the battlefield, he specifically picked those injured outer heaven domain people to fight. He could kill one with one move and explode with the most dazzling golden light in the air. At the same time, it is frightening and also filled with imposing aura. On the battlefield, the four heavenly kings are also very dazzling. They cooperated with the other immortal emperors to beat back those strange-looking outer heaven domain people. Only one of the four heavenly kings is female. Qin also saw an old granny holding a dragon head walking stick and said, "That should be Imperial Dragon Heavenly King." Imperial Dragon Heavenly King is Long Yoqing's mother. An Imperial Beast Heavenly King is a tall and sturdy middle-aged man. He has two beast-head sledgehammers in his hands. With two sledgehammers, he can cripple a heavenly horn person. He is Qin Yun's previous life's big brother pig. Imperial Star Heavenly King is a scholarly middle-aged man. He is wearing a blue robe. His robe has many star runes. With one look, it is clear that he is an inscription master. What shocked Qin Yun is that Imperial Star Heavenly King is actually an inscription dome master. When he fought, he used 3 fingers on each of his hands to draw 6 lines. He can very quickly draw lines and then freeze those outer heaven domain people. After the outer heaven domain people were frozen, an old man with a head full of fire rushed over and used powerful flame to smash the outer heaven domain people into ashes. That tall and sturdy old man's elegant long hair is burning with flame. His eyebrows and long beard are also formed from flame. His sturdy muscles seem to be flowing with lava. This old man is Imperial Flame Heavenly King. It is also today that Qin Yun experienced the power of the 4 heavenly kings. These 4 heavenly kings are very strong, Xiao Hua said with smile. The subordinates of immortal desolate sacred master are quite capable. It's just that this guy is too cowardly. His subordinates are indeed very good, Qin Yun said with smile. Each and every one of them are extremely brave and fierce. Only their boss is not good enough. Immortal Desolate Sacred Master's performance caused many people to cheer again and again. After all, he has the power of a saint. Those immortal emperors from the outer heaven domain were captured by him. They didn't have enough defense or ran fast enough, so they were torn to shreds in just 2 moves. The flying ships of the outer heaven domain, people have all been destroyed. All kinds of flying dragons also transformed into human form. They wore mighty dragon scale armor and began to clean up the remaining outer heaven domain people. And far away from the battlefield, the Dark Royal race, Evil Sun race, Sun Spirit race, and other evil forces are gnashing their teeth in anger because this situation is not what they wanted. They hoped that both sides would suffer heavy losses and then they would go over and kill both sides and take advantage of the situation to dominate the Immortal Desolate. Now it seems that the Immortal Desolate's righteous alliance defeated the outer heaven domain people with overwhelming power. If they were to fight, their dark alliance would not be a match for the righteous alliance at all. Especially that heartless immortal venerable. With his sun's soul divine weapon, he is truly ruthless when killing people. As expected of the heartless old devil. Great, we don't need to do anything, Qin Yun said. I don't think it's that simple, Xiao Hua said with frown. As far as I know, the outer heaven domain won't let this go. Qin Yun nodded his head because heartless immortal venerable said that he fought with the outer heaven domain for many years. I'll go out and take a look, Azure Dragon said. Big brother Azure Dragon, we will also go, what Tian Wenlong said. He and Water Tian Wenlong both admire Azure Dragon very much. You guys just need to be careful. Qin Yun nodded his head. The 3 heavenly rune dragons all went out. Originally, the little black donkey also wanted to go, but seeing that there are still many powerful outer heaven domain people outside, it continued to stay inside the divine inscription mountain. Big brother Yun, I'm little sister Yuqing. Long Yoqing's voice suddenly arrived. Long Yuqing is just outside. This girl, Qin Yun let the mountain god teleport her in. Long Yuqing is wearing dragon scale armor and helmet. The heavenly dragon god totem on her face has not faded, so she has to hide her appearance. Brother Yun, I've seen my mother. I still feel that this place is good. Long Yuqing said with smile. There are many delicious things here. I didn't expect you to be a glutton. Qin Yun said with smile. If you have the chance, compete with UMA and see who can eat more. Chapter 1801. Burrower the little black donkey had also become very obedient because it was doing very well in this place. He called the mountain god invincible, heavenly, venerable, which made the arrogant mountain god happy. Xiao Xian, don't worry. I will protect you in the future. Long Yuqing rubbed the little black donkey's head and smiled. Big brother Yun, when will UMA return? I'm a new member of the inscription gate. As a big sister, she has to help me take care of things. Qin Yun was able to create the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation because of Long Yuqing's contribution. If she wants to join the inscription gate, Qin Yun would also welcome her. She's still in the Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun said, let's wait for her to come back. Xiao Hua said, after we finish fighting here, Big Sis will probably come back. She'll definitely be very upset if she misses this battle. Xiao Yuanmei loves to join on the fun. She must have known that she would miss it and not be able to see it with her own eyes. Immortal Mirror Emperor said with a smile, maybe Big Sister is watching through the mirror. The magic mirror was very easy to sell, and it was very cheap. Of course, if they want to use it later on, they need to pay continuously. Therefore, the Divine Inscription Mountain can receive a large number of immortal jade beads every day. The immortal jade bead contains rich immortal power that can be absorbed by the Divine Mountain. The Divine Mountain absorbed a large amount of immortal power and could grow many divine fruits, such as the sacred mysterious silver crystal fruit or the instant space sacred pearl fruit. This was the magical part of the inscription Divine Mountain. It could transform energy into all kinds of useful fruits. It should be a sure win. This is only the final cleanup. He Shu said. No, Long Yuqing said with certainty. Outer Heaven Domain people are not that simple. They brought a lot of people to Immortal Desolate this time. Qin Yun looked at the magic mirror Immortal Emperor and said, Xiao Ding, use the magic mirror to gather more information. See how many ships have been sent to Immortal Desolate from the Outer Heaven and how many spatial passages have appeared. The Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor used the Devil Mirror to contact his newly formed Devil Mirror disciples. Not long after, he said solemnly, only half of the flying ships have appeared here. Long Yuqing said, sure enough, those guys from Outer Heaven came here for another purpose. They just haven't gathered at the 10,000 Snake Mountain range. Where are they going? Qin Yun was alarmed. I don't know. In short, they are very interested in the sun altar. Long Yuqing said, the sun altars are all concentrated in Heaven Province. There have been no movements for many days. They also did not participate in this battle. Qin Yun planned to contact the Star God after the battle ended and ask about the situation of the 9 sun sects. He wanted to know why they sent the sun altar to the Immortal Desolate. Those sun altars were what Qin Yun was most worried about. This was because the sun altar could send down many powerful things. It could be powerful fellows from the Sacred Desolate, or powerful puppets from the Divine Desolate. Qin Yun guessed that the sun altar might also be heading for the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. The mountain god, who was sitting on a rock, suddenly shouted, Boss, there's a situation. There's a very strong earthquake. Earthquake? Isn't that normal? The Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor said, the great battle here has caused many cracks on the ground. It's not strange for there to be an earthquake. No, that kind of earthquake comes from deep underground. The mountain god's face was solemn. It's a very, very deep place. I can feel something coming up from below. Long Yuqing said, could it be that someone from Outer Heaven Domain is hiding very deep underground? Or could it be that someone from the ancient era is coming up from below? The mountain god can also be considered as a member of the ancient era. However, He cultivated a different heavenly Tao. That's why he fused with a mountain. That thing's body is very big. It's not human, the mountain god said. Because he is a mountain, he can sense the situation deep underground. Hearing the mountain god's words, Qin Yun and Xiao Hua's expression became grave. That thing will come out of the ground very soon. The mountain god promptly controlled the divine inscription mountain to move away from the battlefield. Roar! A muffled roar came out from the ground. Hearing this roar, the people of dragons on the battlefield are extremely alarmed. They immediately looked at the ground. A large amount of soil was sent flying into the sky by an energy wave. A 10,000-meter wide, huge crater suddenly appeared on the ground below. At the same time, a black shadow flew into the sky. Upon closer inspection, it was a 1,000-meter-long beast clad in golden armor. Its body shape is like a pangolin, but it has 3 pairs of feet, front, middle, and back of its body. Each is a pair of feet filled with sharp claws. The most frightening thing about this huge beast that drilled out of the ground is the golden armor on its body. Those golden armor are releasing waves of divine power. What is this thing? Qin Yun is extremely shocked. Is it a divine beast? He Shu is also very shocked. But it doesn't look like it. Isn't this thing a beast? Xiao Hua asked. Xiao He, Xiao Bai, you are both inscription beasts, can't you tell? This thing, it should be a human. Long Yuqing shouted in shock. It's a human cultivated into a beast. Bai Zhe sensed the aura and said, this should be a very special existence. This guy must have been influenced by some kind of power to transform into such a powerful beast. The monster that drilled out of the ground shook the entire Immortal Desolate. Because some people who are watching the battle nearby also discovered that the monster has human aura. It is a very rare thing for a human to cultivate into a beast. And it is even rarer for a human to transform into such a powerful beast. Suddenly, a whistling sound came out from the tens of thousands of meters wide crater. In just a few blinks of an eye, many pitch-black, seemingly very sturdy, flying ships appeared. They all drilled out from the ground. You are dead for sure. This is our Outer Heaven Domain Alliance army. Haha. Your 9-sun Heavenly Domain is too weak, so you did not join the Outer Heaven Alliance. Someone from the Outer Heaven Domain laughed wildly. Answer the 9-sun Heavenly Domain. You killed so many of our Outer Heaven Domain people here and angered the Alliance army. The Alliance army is here to kill you. We are all members of the Outer Heaven Domain Alliance. You killed so many of our people. You are the enemy of the Outer Heaven Domain Alliance. Just wait, there will be even more Alliance Army experts coming. The Alliance Army also brought a Divine Universe Earth Armor Beast. You are finished. The Outer Heaven Domain Alliance Army that appeared seems to be very powerful, especially the giant beast that is opening the way. It is very terrifying. These guys are coming for me. Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. That Divine Universe Earth Armor Beast is looking over. Long Yuqing said, Brother Yun, could it be that the Outer Heaven Domain Alliance Army is coming for the Divine Universe Golden Stone? That's right, Qin Yun said. Kill. The Imperial Dragon Race King loudly roared. There are only 200 flying ships from the Outer Heaven Domain Alliance Army, but they look very powerful. After the giant dragon flew over, it won't be that easy to break through. The Divine Universe Earth Armor Beast stared at the distant Divine Inscription Mountain and rushed over. Xiao Yun, we'll be there soon. Lu Yu Shu Yin and Yu Yu immediately sent sound transmission to Qin Yun. No need to come over, we can handle it. Qin Yun shouted, that thing is very strong. It has the power of the Divine Universe Golden Stone. Don't come over, it's very dangerous. And at this time, Heartless Immortal Venerable also shouted, that thing is a heavenly monster. It's a tamed heavenly monster. Everyone be careful. Everyone is extremely shocked. The Outer Heaven Domain can actually control heavenly monsters. The Divine Inscription Mountain was sent flying far away after being struck by it. Qin Yun now understands why the Divine Universe Earth Armor Beast has the fluctuation of the Divine Universe Golden Stone. So, is a heavenly monster. Someone from the outer heaven domain shouted. Alliance army, quickly attack that city. There are heavenly monsters inside. There are no heavenly monsters inside. Only the aura of a heavenly monster's death. A voice came from a large ship of the Alliance army. This caused the people from the outer heaven domain and the experts of the immortal desolate to be extremely shocked. The heavenly monsters in the Tomb City are gone, and they are all dead. How did the heavenly monsters die? Everyone can't help but think of Qin Yun. Qin Yun destroyed 2 altars, took down 2 evil sons, grasped the sun soul, and all kinds of good things. It is possible for him to kill the heavenly monsters. The group of people from the outer heaven domain are extremely angry. The reason why they attacked the Tomb City so hard was to release the heavenly monsters inside. However, they were all busy in vain. The heavenly monsters have long since been destroyed. Only when the heavenly monsters are exterminated can heartless, immortal venerable come out. The divine inscription mountain was sent flying far away. The space inside is still stable, but it also trembled a bit. The mountain god said angrily, "This damned earth-drilling dog. See how I'll take care of you." The divine inscription mountain suddenly flickered with light and turned into a golden dragon. This dragon is also more than 1,000 meters long. It looks like it is made of golden crystal and contains a very strong explosive power. Qin Yun immediately sent a message to the Netherworld Great Emperor, Elder Qin, and the others, telling them that he can deal with the Divine Universe Earth Armor Beast, so that they can deal with the Alliance Army in peace. The heavenly monsters are very powerful. It is impossible to defeat them with normal power. Heartless Immortal Venerable understands this point very well. He knows that Qin Yun has a very large piece of Divine Universe Golden Stone, and only by using the power of the Divine Universe Golden Stone can he defeat the heavenly monsters. Qin Yun waved his hand, and the 9-dragon heavenly steel appeared. He took out the box and released the Divine Universe Golden Stone. And at this time, Long Yuqing said in shock, "Brother Yun, is this the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation?" "Impossible! How could you possibly have the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation?" "Yuqing, you have never seen the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation before?" Qin Yun said with a smile. "I have seen it before, although your 9-dragon heavenly origin formation is different from the dragon races. I can be sure that this kind of aura fluctuation is the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation." Long Yuqing still does not dare to believe that this is true. She repeatedly shook her head. "The pearl you gave me before was a dragon heavenly rune. I collected 9 complete dragon heavenly runes and successfully laid it out." Qin Yun said with a smile, "Yuqing, you have followed me for so long in my previous life. Don't you know my ability?" "Big brother Yun, it was you who told me in your previous life that no one could lay out the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. Who told me to believe your nonsense? You lied to me." Long Yuqing lightly groaned and said. Qin Yun looked at the mountain god and said, "Old mountain, come here. You borrow the power of the Divine Universe Golden Stone and see if you can release the power of the Divine Universe Golden Stone to the entire Divine Inscription Mountain." "All right." The mountain god excitedly ran over. He sat inside the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, and after testing it out, he said with a smile, "No problem. I can use this power. Fortunately, the Divine Inscription Mountain has evolved to be strong enough. Otherwise, I would not be able to bear it." Chapter 1802. Deity Mountain. The mountain god is extremely excited because he can feel that the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and the Divine Universe Golden Stone are very powerful. Now, in his excitement, he is channeling the power of the Divine Universe Golden Stone into the entire Divine Rune Mountain. The Divine Universe Golden Stone didn't look large, but there was an enormous amount of energy within it. For such a small stone to be incomparably heavy, one could tell just how much energy had been compressed. Qin Yun had previously learned from Immortal Supremacy Heartless that it was very difficult to lose Divine Universe Gold Stones. The Divine Universe Metal Stone was absorbed by the traitors of the Heartless Immortal School. Those traitors became heavenly monsters, and the power of the divine universe was in their bodies, causing their bodies to become extremely powerful. Later on, when those heavenly monsters were killed, the divine cosmos power in their bodies was absorbed by Qin Yun's large divine cosmos goldstone. When the mountain god releases the energy of the divine universe golden stone into the entire divine inscription mountain, the divine inscription mountain will have very strong defensive and offensive power. This kind of power would always be within the divine rune mountain and would return to the divine universe goldstone in the future. If everything went smoothly, the divine inscription mountain will be able to kill the earth drilling dog. Then, Qin Yun would be able to control the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and use the divine universe goldstone to devour the divine universe goldstone inside the earth drilling dog. At that time, the divine universe metal stone would also be a little bigger. Qin Yun also discovered that large pieces of divine cosmos goldstone have a great advantage. It is very fast when devouring other divine cosmos goldstone's divine cosmos power. And the greatest advantage was that as long as the divine universe golden stone was large enough, there was absolutely no need to fear any heavenly monsters. The heavenly monsters in the Tomb City had been attacked by Senior Heartless Immortal's Sun Soul divine weapon for tens of thousands of years, but none of them had died. However, they were quickly crushed by the power released by the divine universe. After the divine mountain transformed into a golden crystal dragon and absorbed the power of the divine universe, the golden light inside the crystal became even more intense. Long Yuqing is also very excited because Qin Yun has successfully created a genuine 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. "Boss, I'm attacking," the mountain god said. He is sitting beside the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, controlling the golden crystal dragon divine mountain. "Let's go." Qin Yun was also very relieved. When the experts from the imperial clans and Immortal Desolate saw the divine mountain turn into a very powerful golden crystal dragon, they all felt a lot more at ease. At the same time, they felt shocked. They never expected that the divine mountain would have such a change. The people from the outer heaven realm were even more shocked. The outer sky realm people who had experienced the war before were all watching from afar. Because of the Alliance army, they didn't have to do anything. That mountain turned into a dragon, and there's a very strong divine power in its body. A person from the outer heaven realm shouted in shock. "Qin Yun, how did he do it? He can use the divine universe goldstone?" An outer heaven cultivator who looks like a ball said in shock. The divine universe golden stone in his hand is very big. Not to mention him, even the strongest inscription master in outer heaven can't control such a big piece of divine universe golden stone. A heaven horn person nodded and said, "That's right. Only powerful inscription masters from god-level space know how to use these large pieces of divine universe golden stone. Even if we obtain it, we will only use it for research or gift it to the God Realm experts in the God Realm space." Everyone from the outer sky domain could see that the golden crystal dragon had a very strong divine power. As for the outer heaven alliance army, they began to fight against the Immortal Desolate. The Imperial race dragon warrior once again transformed into a huge dragon and charged towards the extremely sturdy black flying ships. After a moment of silence, the battlefield once again burst out with world-shaking momentum. A fierce battle once again unfolded. The earth-drilling dog sensed the threat of the golden crystal dragon, but his mission is to snatch the divine universe golden stone. Because he himself is a heavenly monster, he also very much wants to obtain the divine universe golden stone. The earth-drilling dog once again flew out. His huge body is like a huge ball of golden light. He suddenly flashed away. His extremely fast speed and huge body moved at high speed in the battlefield filled with tyrannical aura energy. When he collided with all kinds of aura energy, he let out a sharp and ear-piercing sound. Even the powerful immortal emperors on the battlefield felt very uncomfortable after hearing this kind of sharp sound. Boom! The earth-drilling dog ferociously rammed into the golden crystal dragon. However, the golden crystal dragon's body did not fly out it is as if nothing happened. Only a burst of rumbling sound accompanied by a burst of golden light. The golden crystal dragon absorbed the divine universe golden stone's energy and released the divine universe power. It produced a very strong defense and blocked the earth drilling dog's fierce charge just now. The earth drilling dog's power is also the divine universe power. When it charged over, the golden armor on its body flashed with light, releasing the divine universe power. Clearly, the golden crystal dragon's divine universe power is stronger because the divine universe golden stone is very big. Roar! The golden crystal dragon roared loudly. Its body emitted crackling sounds and quickly moved. That very long body actually started to move very nimbly. The earth-drilling dog immediately retreated. In the blink of an eye, it is tens of thousands of meters away from the golden crystal dragon. Everyone only saw the golden crystal dragon's body curl up into a ball and fly into the sky, smashing towards the earth-drilling dog. This time, the earth-drilling dog did not dodge far away. It retreated to avoid the huge dragon's fall and then quickly pounced over, opening its huge and sharp teeth filled with cold light. The earth-drilling dog looks like a pangolin. Its mouth is very small, but now it's suddenly opened incomparably big, as if it can swallow 1,000 zhang huge mountain. After the originally very big earth-drilling dog opened its mouth, everyone looked at the huge mouth that can swallow a mountain, as well as all kinds of 100-meter long, densely packed sharp teeth. They could not help but shout in fear. After opening its mouth, the earth-drilling dog is like a poisonous snake attacking. It rushed out like lightning and bit the golden crystal dragon's entire head. It must be known that the golden crystal dragon's head is originally as big as a mountain, yet the earth-drilling dog easily bit it. Courting death, Mountain God sneered. The huge dragon immediately let out a loud roar. Frantic energy gushed out from its mouth and entered the earth-drilling dog's throat. However, the earth-drilling dog was not sent flying. What's going on? Qinyan promptly asked. That guy's stomach can swallow energy. Mountain God cursed in low voice and said, Boss, don't worry. Watch me. The golden crystal dragon's long dragon body suddenly flickered and quickly wrapped around the earth-drilling dog. Hurry up and end this. It's too ugly to look at mouth to mouth with that earth-drilling dog. Through the magic mirror, little black donkey can see this very ugly scene. This kind of scene is also seen by many people. It is indeed very ugly. The golden crystal dragon's head has been bitten to death. It is very difficult for it to come out. However, the earth-drilling dog's body is also tightly wrapped. Its body is beginning to deform. Big Brother Yun, the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation can release the power of the divine cosmos golden stone. It can make the divine cosmos power gentle. This way, the divine inscription mountain can only absorb the divine cosmos power. And I feel that the correct way to use it is to control the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation to absorb the divine cosmos golden stone's power and transform it into nine dragons' power. Long Yuqing said. Qin Yun said, Yuqing, the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation is also an offensive formation, right? Long Yuqing nodded and said, Of course it is. It's just that different people use it in different ways. The nine-dragon heavenly origin formation is very special. In order to use this formation, one needs to comprehend it. Everyone's comprehension is different. Qin Yun slightly frowned and thought for a moment. Then he released his formidable mental power and began controlling the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation. He said, Old Mountain, prepare to receive even stronger energy. All right. Mountain God promptly nodded. The nine-dragon heavenly origin formation suddenly trembled. Every dragon rune heavenly steel is surging with energy. A large amount of divine cosmos power is boiling inside, letting out a burst of angry dragon roar. Roar! Nine heavenly steel suddenly loudly roared. The heavenly steel frantically absorbed the divine cosmos golden stone's energy and then was drawn into the divine inscription mountain by the mountain god. The golden crystal dragon's body suddenly became even larger. It suddenly swelled up by one fold. A 1,000-meter long horn grew out of the center of the dragon's head. That horn is like a sharp blade. Now the dragon's head is like a 1,000-meter tall mountain. It directly burst open the earth-drilling dog's mouth. The dragon claw also became incomparably huge, and the tip of the claw is a huge scimitar. In an instant, it smashed several flying ships that were flying over. The earth-drilling dog's body was tied up by the huge dragon body. As the dragon body shrank, the earth-drilling dog was also strangled until it emitted a series of explosive sounds. The earth-drilling dog's body is not small, but at this moment, it suddenly disappeared. It has already been entangled by the suddenly expanding dragon body and disappeared. The most terrifying thing is that the earth-drilling dog's body has been strangled to pieces. All kinds of intense light burst out and gushed out through the cracks of the dragon's body. Everyone is dumbstruck. The people of the outer heaven domain are all incomparably terrified and then let out angry cries. The black flying ships of the Alliance army immediately aimed at the incomparably huge golden crystal dragon, wanting to blast it with energy. Qin Yun controlled the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation to devour the divine cosmos power within the earth-drilling dog's body. The devouring process is extremely fast. Qin Yun, Xiao Hua, and Long Yuqing, who are beside the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation, can all see that the divine universe golden stone has become much bigger. "Old Mountain, let's go," Qin Yun said. Those fellows from the outer heaven domain should have grasped the method to deal with the divine universe power. The outer heaven domain can control a heavenly monster like the earth-drilling dog. So Qin Yun is also very worried about this. The divine inscription mountain flashed and instantly turned into a lion that is tens of meters long. It quickly ran a few times, and a powerful spatial fluctuation appeared around it. Then it passed through space and disappeared. The mountain god had once absorbed a large amount of instant space sacred iron, so the entire mountain is a spatial magic tool that can travel through space at critical times. In addition, the current energy source of the divine inscription mountain is the divine universe golden stone. Even in a place like the sun's sacred land, where space is extremely stable, it can still travel through space. The divine inscription mountain did not go far. Instead, it is in the thunder mist heavenly forest. Qin Yun said with a smile, "This time I made a huge profit." The nine-dragon heavenly origin formation stopped operating. Qin Yun took out the box and put away the divine universe golden stone. "What divine universe earth armor beast? It's just trash." The mountain god laughed and said, "It's just a matter of a few moves." The people of the outer heaven domain are wailing in grief. The Alliance army is even more furious. Not only did they not obtain the divine universe golden stone, they even lost it. "Old Mountain, you guys are in charge of collecting sun god crystals. Little Black, Little White, you guys are in charge of roping in some powerful inscription beasts. Old Xiao, you are in charge of commanding here." Qin Yun said, "I can't stay in the divine inscription mountain for long. It will only attract trouble." Chapter 1803. Mothership Energy. Qin Yun was prepared to be hunted by the outer heavens for a long time. No matter what, he would never give up on the divine universe goldstone. Now that he had found a way to use the divine universe golden stone and created the nine dragons heaven origin formation, as long as he was given enough time, he would be able to grow rapidly and fight against powerful enemies from the outer heaven domain. "Boss, if you continue to stay here, there won't be any problem," Mountain God said. "This divine rune mountain combined with divine universe golden stone is an unparalleled existence. If someone stronger comes, just kill them like what you did to the penetrator dog just now." Qin Yun shook his head and said, "No, we still don't know how powerful the outer sky realm is, and there are a lot of them. There will be even stronger fellows coming. The divine inscription mountain must develop steadily. In the future, when we enter the divine desolate land, This divine inscription mountain will be our home. Brother Yin, where are you going next? Long Yuqing is somewhat reluctant to part with Qin Yin. She also wants to follow Qin Yin. I don't know, but I have a place to go. We can use the magic mirror to contact each other at any time. Qin Yin said with a smile. Boss, leave this place to us. You can go out in peace. Xiao Hua smiled and said, Soon, Big Sister will come back here to help. The next goal of the inscription gate was to find even more sun god crystals. After that, Bai Zhe and the others wanted to find even more inscription beasts. Inscription beasts are very powerful. They can use runes to erupt with a very strong power. Otherwise, the Nine Sun sect would not have sent the sun altar to the immortal desolate to capture inscription beasts. All right, then I'm leaving. Qin Yin patted Long Yuqing's shoulder and said with a smile, You and Mei will be here soon. You two girls better not cause too much trouble. Got it. Long Yuqing said. Qin Yin entered the heaven-leaping shuttle, left the space inside the divine inscription mountain, and arrived at the thunder fog heavenly forest outside. Although there are many towering ancient trees in the thunder fog heavenly forest, from time to time a strong wind would blow. The intense battle was still going on in the myriad snake mountain range, and the shock waves from the battle reached the thunder fog heavenly forest. Let's go to the Thousand Snake Mountain range to take a look. Qin Yin is sitting on a large chair in the middle of the control room. He waved his hand and released the 9 dragon rune heavenly steels. He released the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation first. If there was a need, he could immediately bring out the divine universe golden rock to coordinate with the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation to attack and defend. Let's go. Qin Yin controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and entered the 10,000 Snake Mountain Ranges battlefield. The battlefield in the 10,000 Snake Mountain Range was in chaos. Many of the onlookers were watching the battle from afar, not daring to approach. Previously, there were some people who wanted to watch the battle from a close distance, but in the end, they were swept away by the shock waves that erupted. Even now, it was unknown whether they were alive or dead. Even some powerful outer heavens didn't join the battlefield, because they wouldn't be of any help. The Outer Heaven Alliance's main target was the black flying ships. That kind of flying ship was very powerful, and its defense was terrifying. The dragon warriors could not break through it in a short time. While they were attacking the black flying ships, they were also attacked by the flying ships. Many of the dragons were beaten black and blue. Qin Yun hid and secretly observed. He also discovered that the defensive power of the flying ships was strong because they were protected by a strong energy barrier. The reason why the energy barrier was so strong was mainly because of the formation runes. Although the defense is very strong, many of the ships have been destroyed. Qin Yun said with a frown. What's left are all difficult to break through. The Alliance army also realized that they had underestimated the strength of the Immortal Desolate. Of course, their understanding of the Immortal Desolate was still at the level of many years ago. They didn't expect that a powerful Imperial clan would appear. The Imperial clan was indeed the strongest main force. Furthermore, the sudden appearance of the heartless Immortal Venerable, who had been unknown for many years, caused a great deal of pressure to the people of the Outer Heaven realm. There are still 10 fleets left. Qin Yun observed the situation of the Alliance army. The black flying ship of the Alliance army, whether it was the material of the ship's hull, the runes inside the ship, or the energy source inside, they were all very powerful. Each fleet had the largest mothership, together with more than 10 small and medium-sized ships around them. They could form a large offensive and defensive formation. No matter how crazily the dragons of the Imperial Dragon race charged, they were unable to break through the barrier. That kind of barrier is much stronger than the star formation from before. Now, the experts of the Immortal Desolate can only wait for the dragon race to break through the defense before they can attack. Many of the dragons that charged into the barrier in the past had their heads broken and bleeding. They had no choice but to retreat and replace them with another group of dragons. Sister Shuyan, you guys don't need to do anything now, right? Qin Yin took out the magic mirror and contacted Lu Yushuyan. No need. Are you guys nearby? Lu Yushuyan is somewhat surprised. She thought that Qin Yun had run far away. I'm still nearby. I'm not inside the divine inscription mountain. Qin Yun said, Sister Shuyan, come to my side with Sister Yu Yu. Hurry up. Lu Yu Shuyan and Yu Yu are together. They are also representatives of the Guanghan Palace. After they found out where Qin Yun is, they immediately flew over. Not long after, they approached the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Qin Yun teleported them to the main control room of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Xiao Yun, it's good that you're fine. I was worried about you. Lu Yu Shuyan said. She's wearing a white mask. Her pair of charming eyes are looking at Qin Yun affectionately. Yu Yu is wearing black battle armor and holding the sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand. She said with smile, Xiao Yun, did you return to help get rid of those guys? Do you have a way to deal with those fleets? Qin Yun nodded and said, I do. I plan to enter the mother ship, and then you guys wreak havoc inside. How about it? Lu Yu Shuyan and Yu Yu looked at each other and nodded. Can you enter the mother ship? Lu Yu Shuyan asked. Of course I can. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation can transform energy even stronger. Then let's begin. Yu Yu held the sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand and laughed sinisterly. I can't wait any longer. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and contacted Netherworld Great Emperor and Elder Qin. He told them to prepare to attack and also told them about his plan to enter the mother ship. Elder Qin and Netherworld Great Emperor are very excited. They warned Qin Yun repeatedly to be careful. Let's go. Qin Yun closed his eyes and sensed the surrounding space through the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. In his mind, many huge things appeared. There was a tomb city, many flying ships, and some huge rocks on the ground. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle released very weak spatial fluctuation. Through the spatial fluctuation, Qin Yun can sense the huge objects within the spatial fluctuation. He quickly locked onto the nearest black mother ship. The Alliance Army's playthings are really good stuff. Even if the energy source inside the mother ship can't compare to Xie Yang's energy source, it is still very good. Qin Yun laughed in his heart. There is another reason why he came back. It is because he has his eyes on those flying ships. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation began operating, extracting the energy inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and then releasing it into the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle's spatial power suddenly became very strong. The space trembled. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle fiercely jumped through space. The barrier formed by the fleets also has the power to stabilize space, but now it can't stop the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. In the blink of an eye, the Heaven Leaping Shuttle arrived inside the mother ship. The inside of the mother ship is as big as a city. It also has a world inside. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle arrived at a place inside the mother ship. That place is very spacious and has a very intense blue light. Qin Yun and others are unable to open their eyes because of the intense light. What is this place? It's so hot. Yu said. They can only see a ball of blue light. That's a star similar to the sun. Qin Yun said in shock. These guys often fly in the starry sky. They must have collected many useful and powerful stars. That's the energy source. Lui Wei Shuyan said. Xiao Yun, let us out. Qin Yun nodded, then released Yu Yu and Lui Wei Shuyan. Soon after, he also ran out. This is the location where the energy source is stored. Qin Yun also doesn't know why he suddenly teleported here. He suspects that when the Heaven Leaping Shuttle jumps through space, it tends to jump to a place with strong energy. There's no one here, Yu Yu said with a smile. Xiao Yun, this is the location of the energy source. Very few people come in, they usually guard outside. The place they are in is definitely a separate space. It is very spacious and is used to store the energy source. This energy source is pretty good. Qin Yun chuckled and then raised his hand. The 9-sun divine spirit appeared on his wrist and released a burst of black light. The black light rushed over and covered up the intense and dazzling blue light. The black light shone on the blue energy source. Then a very strong spatial power erupted and moved the energy source into the space inside the 9-sun divine spirit. The space inside the nine-sun divine spirit is very large. Qin Yin placed many stars inside the fifth pearl to set up formations, and now it is placed inside the energy source. It is still very spacious. After the energy source was taken away by Qin Yin, the space became a vast expanse of whiteness. Suddenly, the surrounding space fluctuated. Someone came in. They are 5 people from the outer heaven domain. Their bodies are very big, like small giants. They are 4 to 5 meters tall, wearing thick black armor and wearing round cauldron-like helmets on their heads. You are people from the immortal desolate. A giant roared in shock. The huge sword in his hand fiercely slashed forward, sweeping up a gale. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Yu Yu's hand also flew out. The scimitar in her other hand also emitted a burst of red light, releasing formidable immortal emperor power to block in front of her. Liu Shuyan is holding a blood-colored long saber. Intense killing intent is like a wave. This kind of mental pressure caused those giants to feel fear. This is the power of killing God. Chapter 1804. The Great Affair at the Altar. While protecting Qin Yun, Yu Yu used the sun-suppressing divine arrow's special ability to launch mental attack to confuse those outer heaven domain people. Liu Shuyan also took this opportunity to attack with extreme speed. It was unknown what level the blood-red blade in her hand was, but it was extremely strong. Divine power rippled out from it, and with a single slash, the giant's thick armor was split open. With just 3 slashes, the giant was split into 3 pieces, and its head flew out. Qin Yun took out the Nether Spirit's sacred blade to absorb the remnant soul. The strength of the outer sky domain people is about the same as the people of Immortal Desolate. They're not much stronger. Their strength mainly lies in their equipment. Liu Shuyan was a death god in her previous life. Whether it was her equipment or strength, they far surpassed ordinary Immortal Desolate immortal emperors. For example, that slash just now, not only did she use god power, she also used the power of the 9-sun world extermination scripture. Therefore, it could directly break through extremely sturdy armors. In just a few moves, the bodies of those giants were cut into several pieces by Liu Shuyan. This kind of strength caused even Yu Yu to exclaim in admiration. Come on, let's kill our way out. Liu Shuyan is currently in a state of slaughter. Even Qin Yun and Yu Yu feel a great pressure from her killing intent. Because the mothership no longer had an energy source, the powerful barrier suddenly disappeared. The Netherworld Great Emperor and Elder Qin, who were outside, were already prepared. They rushed to the forefront to attack the fleets. Seeing them attack, the others also came to their senses. The dragon warriors of the Imperial Dragon race were all focused on attacking the fleet that had suddenly disappeared from the barrier. Heartless Immortal Venerable was the fastest, followed by Immortal Desolate Sacred Master. As soon as they arrived, they destroyed a several hundred-meter-long flying ship in just a few moves. Boom, boom, boom. More than half of the fleet was annihilated in the blink of an eye. The people from the outer heavens who flew out were harvested by the Immortal Desolate experts. Inside the mothership, Qin Yun, Liu Shuyan, and Yu Yu killed many powerful outer heaven realm people. Facing Liu Shuyan and Yu Yu's joint attack, they couldn't last long and were killed. After killing many outer heaven realm people, the mothership also trembled. This ship is about to be destroyed. Let's go to the next ship, Qin Yun said with smile. Qin Yun took out the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. After they entered the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, they immediately performed a spatial jump. Just like before, the Heaven Leaping Shuttle went directly to the space where the energy source was located. But this time, the energy source was light purple. Because the powerful enemies they faced from the Outer Heaven realm were just the tip of the iceberg of the Outer Heaven Alliance. The 3,000 heavenly domains that were conquered by the 9 Suns royal race have now joined forces. Peng Huxiong said, he knows many things about the Nine Sons royal race. If the 3,000 heavenly domains did not obtain the inheritance of the Nine Sons' heavenly domain, how could they have today? Whether it is their cultivation methods or inscription techniques, they were all passed down to them by the Nine Sons' heavenly domain. The Imperial Dragon Race king groaned. If these guys did not obtain the help of the Nine Sons' heavenly domain, they would have already been eaten by other stronger heavenly domains. Everyone present also understood why the inscription inheritances of the other heavenly domains are almost the same as the Nine Sons' heavenly domain. They also have sun runes. So it turns out that they were all passed down by the Nine Sons royal race. The heaven-leaping shuttle suddenly appeared. Qin Yin did not come out. Seniors, those guys are most likely hiding deep underground. Qin Yun's voice came out. If you want to deal with them, it would be best to seek help from Divine Desolate. They might have a way. We will. The Imperial Dragon Race King said. Qin Yun caused all the experts present to admire him endlessly. If Qin Yun did not take action just now, it would be very difficult for them to defeat a fleet of ships. All right, then I will take my leave. Qin Yun did not say anything else. He directly controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and left. With Heartless Immortal Venerable and Immortal Desolate Sacred Master guarding Immortal Desolate, along with the Imperial race, it will be very difficult for the Outer Heaven Domain's people to occupy Immortal Desolate. He is also a lot more relieved. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew high in the sky. Yu Yu and Lu Yue Shuyan left. They want to return to the Guanghan Palace to arrange some matters. Qin Yin also told them to bring Gong Fian and Kong Feiqing back. The mother and daughter pair will be of great help to the Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun entered the depths of the 10,000 Snake Mountain range and arrived at a place with green mountains and clear waters. After night, the sky is filled with stars. Qin Yun took out the Floating Cloud Pagoda, entered the 20th floor of the Floating Cloud Pagoda, and contacted Star God. Big Sister Star God, Qin Yun lightly shouted, I have an urgent matter to discuss with you. Star God's charming figure did not appear. Only her gentle and charming voice came through. Xiao Yun, how are you now? Are there many people chasing after you? I'm all right, Qin Yun said with smile, then briefly explained the situation of the Outer Heaven Domain's attack on Immortal Desolate. A3. Then you must be careful. Star God faintly sighed. I will do my best to help you in Divine Desolate. Big Sister Star God, I need something that can produce divine flame. Qin Yin said with smile, I want to refine some God-tier materials. I need divine flame. It would be best if I can store it and release it when I need it. Star God said, I can give you some star fire divine liquid. After igniting it, it can produce divine flame. I don't have much of this kind of thing. It won't be enough for you to use for a long time. Give me as many as you can. Qin Yin also knows that Divine Desolate is now very strict. Star God cannot use special channel to deliver large amount of things to him like before. Divine Desolate can only deliver things like liquid and powder to lower realms. Big Sister Star God, I've collected many remnant souls. I'll perform the death sacrifice first. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Thank you, Xiao Yun. Star God smiled sweetly and said, Quickly come. Qin Yun took out the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade and several large soul sealing pearls. He used several hours to perform the death sacrifice this time. The sky is about to brighten. During this time, Star God has been earnestly receiving the energy without saying a word. So much. After Star God finished receiving the energy, she sighed and said, Xiao Yun, the death sacrifice you performed on me this time will allow me to break through a great realm. Big Sister Star God, how is your situation in Divine Desolate? Qin Yun asked. Divine Desolate's imperial clan is rather strong. They require all gods with divine position to unite. Moreover, the Nine Sun sects don't dare to act recklessly. I am after all a star god. I am still very powerful. I am now a lot safer. Star God said with smile. Qin Yin took out a container and began collecting the Star Fire Divine Liquid. Star God gave Qin Yin quite a lot of Star Fire Divine Liquid. Qin Yun believes that it is enough to refine many things. You gave me so many remnant souls this time, but I gave you so few things. Star God said somewhat guiltily. Little brother Xiao Yun, I will try my best to find more things for you. There's no need for much, as long as it's suitable. Qin Yun said with smile. For example, this time, the things Sister Star God gave me are very suitable for me. They just happen to be what I lack. Qin Yun obtained a lot of Star Fire Divine Liquid and is very satisfied. After all, this is a good thing from Divine Desolate. Even Star Gods don't have much. Oh, that's right, Sister Star God. What is the main purpose of the sun altar that the 9 sun sects deployed in the Immortal Desolate? Qin Yun is rather curious about this matter. I'm not sure for the time being. I'm also very curious why they didn't take back the altar and instead kept it in the Immortal Desolate. Star God said, what is the current situation of those altars in the Immortal Desolate? They all appeared in the heavenly province of the Immortal Desolate and gathered together. Qin Yun said, If it's really like this, then they might be doing something big. Star God said in shock. What big matter? Qin Yun asked hurriedly. Sending a puppet army to the Immortal Desolate. They want to open a very strong spatial passageway and send a large number of puppets or other things from the Divine Desolate. Star God snorted. The space god is definitely involved. He didn't tell me. Qin Yun is somewhat worried. The divine level puppets sent by the Divine Desolate are heading towards the Cloud Dragon mountain range. And when the Outer Heaven Alliance army came out from the ground, it made him suspect that they were preparing to go somewhere. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.